find somebody to cast with me. So, welcome to the AG number 29. I am Storm, and joining me for the first time tonight is Nos. Nos has casted before, I think, with Blue back in the past. So, back on the back in the casting scene for Nos. How are you feeling about that?
Feeling pretty good. Yeah, definitely, as you mentioned, I do have some casting experience before. I've definitely casted some 2v2s before, and I do have a lot of Conquest experience. I think the biggest Conquest map I shoutcasted was for the Beijing qualifiers, actually. It was me,
okay.
Cade, and Blue.
Oh, well, that's quite the experience. So, stepping up to the big leagues now with AG, because we've got some good teams here that are going to be playing in our first matchup. First, though, got some announcements for you guys who are watching. First off, I now am going to be utilizing my YouTube page now that I can actually stream in high quality. So, below my stream, you can find my YouTube page for every ESL and AG tournament in the future that will be uploaded to that page, including last week's ESL. I uploaded that last night, so if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. Subscribe to that. We do have not a gem giveaway. Usually it's a gem giveaway, but I don't have any. So we're going to have a skin giveaway tonight. Not exactly sure what skin we're going with yet. I just put that up there, so you guys can give me your ideas if you want. If you guys are interested in playing the AG tournament, you can find that link right up there. I'm not sure, right over there. Battlefy.com/academy-gaming. Obviously, Nos is with me, and finally, competing with Nos here, I finally got an affiliate link for Guild Wars 2. So if you're interested in supporting me and my stream, you can go ahead and buy that below the stream. It's obviously there, so I want to point that out. So anyhow, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got for our first matchup. I believe it is Club of Candace up against Theory of Relativity. Obviously, Nos, you know a couple of these people on Club of Candace. What are your thoughts on these guys?
They're definitely, I know this is their first tournament experience together, and I've actually kind of helped that team form because they're a bunch of friends I know, and I actually think they're going to do pretty successful, and I'm seeing them go really far. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take this pretty convincingly. I know earlier in the round of 16, they won really convincingly, only letting their team get under 50 points twice in a row, 2-0ing them.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and take a look at their builds. First off, we got a Candace playing DDL. He's going to be sticking with, looks like Strength, Runes. He's going to be running Fire over Earth. Nothing too special about his build. Next up, we got Drake, who is going to be playing Mesmer with the Great Sword Staff, Vamp Runes, Marauder, Amulet, running the typical Domination Dueling. But he's not running Inspiration. Will be running Chaos. I know we saw Zeromus run that a couple weeks back in the ESLs. But he went back to Inspiration, seeing that had a little bit more team support and more damage. But Chaos is what we have Drake running for himself. Next up, we've got Ellie. He's going to be playing the second DD for this team with DDL, Hullbreak Runes, excuse me. Going to be running Fire as well over that Earth. A little bit more damage pressure. Next up, Beyond B. Someone who we haven't seen in tournaments for quite some time. Coming back, winning that gem code on the ESL stream yesterday. Looking to get some gems here today. Going to be playing DP Thief with Short Bow. Looks like Vamp Runes, Marauder, Amulet. He's going to be playing the Shadow Arts variant of that build. Next, finally, we've got Purgatory playing the Nos build with the Dagger, Warhorn, Staff, Strength, Rune, Cella, Amulet, running Spite, Soul Reaping, and Curses. So nothing too special about this team. I don't think that's a fairly standard team comp nowadays. But
yeah, there is one thing that's, I think, rather unique, and it's not like the classes they play. I think overall they have a really solid team comp going for them. But if you take a look at the Mesmer again, normally when Mesmers take the Chaos straight line in the Grandmaster, they go for a Prismatic Understanding, the PU Mesmers. But Delphine Drake is actually opting for Chaotic Interruption. So what this means is that every time he gets an interrupt, he's going to mobilize them and put a random condition on them. This is a lot more aggressive than taking PU. So I'm expecting them to go for high burst potential on people.
yeah, definitely.
You're going to be able to lock them down so well.
Yeah, next up, let's take a look at Theory of Relativity really quick. We've got Monster Panties. I love the name right there. Going to be playing DDL with Hullbreak Runes. Sticking, yeah, it looks looks like he's running Fire over Earth as well. Nothing too special with his build. Mark Thane playing the Support Guardian with that staff. Mace Focus with the Soldier Runes, Cleric's Amulet. Running the typical trait lines as well. He's going to be running 4 Shouts, going to be running Shelter, a little bit more sustain, I think, for himself with that block. It really helps against that Mesmer Burst and Thief Burst for sure. Next up, Speedy Lock playing the DP Thief. Pretty standard build as well. Looks like he's running Shadow Arts, nothing too special there. Rip Boonster going to be playing the Nos build. That's what we call it from now on. I'm getting a little bit of feedback on Nos's end.
Yeah,
by the way. DP, excuse me, not DP, Dagger Warhorn with the staff, Strength Runes running Spike Curses and Soul Reaping. And finally, we've got Lyn, who's going to be playing the Mesmer for this team. This is an interesting build. Running with the Great Sword, Sword Torch, Zerker Amulet, Pack Runes, running Illusions, Domination, and Dueling. So first off, Sword, not a weapon set we see that much. It's something Zeromus used to run a lot. It's going to be running Zerker Amulet, going full on Zerk, and running Illusions. What are your thoughts on this build?
Well, it's the first time ever seeing Illusions, like looking at it and reading the traits. Normally I just took my Mesmer friend's word on it that Illusions is by far the worst one you can take. But yeah, this is really interesting. Definitely a stylized choice on this one, breaking away from the meta and trying to make his own. Looks like he's going to be getting in a lot of might stacking. And he's getting that torch synergy, able to remove some Kines from it.
Yeah, definitely. So we do have this game underway. Obviously, both these guys looking to get a spot in the semifinals, which doesn't guarantee them gems, does guarantee them a spot to attempt to get gems. But taking a look at the opening splits for both these teams, you know, I think the red team definitely has the upper hand, a little bit more experienced players. But theory of relativity, they did play last week. They looked pretty decent. I think they got top 8 for that matter. So take a look at the opening splits. Monster Panties looking for some crossers. Not actually going to cross. He's crossing his own side, not doing a whole lot there. Not
very
exactly
defensive.
Sure. Very defensive, that is true. What do we have going on for this red team, though?
Looks like red team's going to be getting the free save cap onto their mine node, and it looks like there's going to be a team fight breaking out in red team's favor, and the red team's Ellie over at mid is going to be ganked, getting a lot of Mofers, and yeah, immediately goes down right there, and then they're going to port back and try and salvage the team fight at home. So it looks like they're trading 1 for 1 right now.
Not
Ellie's
a bad
down
trade.
And Rip Boonster's down.
Yeah,
so
not a bad
fight
trade.
Looking over at Henge.
The fight over the hedge definitely going in favor of this red team because they did have a few more people there. But Drake, being the main focus, did get forced to portal out of there. Going to bring up his Mantras. Probably going to go back into that one. Don't doubt it. Doesn't have his heal up for another 5 seconds. Not going to go through that portal again. But back on the point, Monster Panties was taken down once again by Candace. Going to try and get out here. Probably try to go for the res from Purgatory. I'm not so sure it's, or the stomp from Purgatory, excuse me. But definitely going in favor of this red team, looking to take 2 cap this game.
Yep, 2 blue team members down, and looks like red team's gonna be able to sweep this node. And taking a look at the mine node, Ellie on respawn, the red team's Ellie just managed to stop the thief from decapping, and that'll be a 1v1 Ellie can easily win. So good stuff coming from the red teams. Looks like they're gonna have side notes now, and Beyond right now being pretty aggressive, going for that 1v1 on mid. It looks like nope, just leaving it be, saying, hey, it's a bunker guard, we have our side notes, I'm happy with this. They need to move on us.
Yeah, definitely so. Beyond going to try and get on top of Speedy Lock, who's under a lot of pressure, just keeps getting Mo up the Panic Strike. He is getting under, oh man, Drake coming in, so is Purgatory. Shadow Refuge comes down, gets taken out in Shadow Refuge. I don't think they're going to go for that res just because of the fact Mark Thane is now in a 1v3 at the midpoint. Needs some help. 3 members of this blue team coming off a respawn to 3v1 at the home point against Candace, but Candace doesn't care because he should be able to hold for quite some time, and it looks like his team is definitely going to be winning the mid node as he 1v2s over there.
Yeah, and it looks like Ellie's doing a great, or no, Candace rather is doing a great job holding the far node right now, blue team's home node, and now his team will be able to rotate in and just hold it. And I see a triple cap coming in really soon. They're still bleeding out the thief over at mid. This is really good for them. The only problem is that now they can lose it because Candace was outnumbered for so long. But if they can get this solid res, perfect. Time warp res, quickness coming in, I think they're in a fine situation.
Yeah, we do see Lyn taken down there. A lot of damage coming out from Drake. 100% HP for all these guys right here. We do have, it's like Ellie just kind of sitting at that mid node looking for any crossers coming off of Reson. We are going to see Beyond make his way over to the mine point. Not sure if Ellie is going to go there, just kind of sitting at the midpoint. There, she does move, takes a lot of falling damage. No, doesn't see it. Thinks she sees it now, but over at the Henge, we did see a huge wipe come out from this blue team, so red definitely going to be taking a 2 cap as the decap came out from Beyond, or excuse me, that was Speedy Lock there, over there at the mine point. We are Ellie able to get on the point in time. That's probably not a favorable matchup for this Thief, so he's probably just going to piece out of here and get caught by Beyond.
He's happy. Now he's just going to look for another one, and Beyond, I think Beyond will be able to follow him. Yeah, he knows what's up. He's a Thief, he can follow the enemy Thief. And while this is happening, the red team's major team force right now, 3 of them are just cleaning up the blue teams.
Yeah, they did just kill one member that was Mark Thane, their support guard, over on the beach. They're just kind of spread out right here. We do see a thief battle going on at the midpoint. Speedy Lock going to be taken down into the mist forms by Beyond. I wouldn't be surprised to see Beyond take him out here. Able to get away, throws down the SR, should be okay for the time being regardless. Beyond definitely has a favorable health pool. Going to get some support though from Monster Panties coming into 2v1 this. Going to make it a 2v2 as Mesmer makes his way to the midpoint. Ultimately though, red team, really, really good spot, about a 200-point lead. Probably going to be taking this game number one. Wouldn't be surprised if blue team already thinking about Legacy and what they can do differently, because it felt like right out of the gate, 3-cap almost instantly coming out for red.
Yeah, I don't see how the blue team can come back. They're not really trying to regroup as one anymore. Like, they always have one member being bled out, and in the meantime, they're just able to win the even fights, or for the majority of them, outnumber them. Like, we saw the 2v2 be won at Keep Node right now.
Yeah, over here at the Henji, Candace is getting 1v2'd, forced to get off the point. They do get the decap. That's good for the blue team, but a lot of reinforcements coming out for red. 3 more members being sent to this Henge point to support Candace. They're going to try and wreak havoc over here on the point because Mark Thane so low, doesn't have any shouts left. Has a couple actually, but even so, he can be taken down rather quickly by these guys. Wouldn't be surprised to see him be the main target, and that is going to be not able to even get shelter off. He's going to get stomped here with that stomp coming out from Ellie. Should be able to get that one for his team. Another good pickup. Looking to build up to a 300-point lead. It feels like they're 4v5ing over here at the Henge point because they got their Mesmer sitting over at Beach. Look for respawns. That's essentially a 4v5.
Yeah, for the most part too. This might just be me nitpicking here, but I don't think Candace needs to give up that node. Because yeah, he was outnumbered, but one of the people there was a bunker guard, and he's not going to be able to really output any pressure. So the only pressure source he was handling was just the Mesmer. I don't think he needed to blink up there to live a few extra seconds longer, because his team was really close. But it looks like they're just be keeping up, cleaning up this team fight really well. 2 people in the downstate right now. Monster Panty's getting really low, trying to peel out, it looks like. Ellie right on Panty's tail, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely so.
Good for them at all. They can even like dedicate one of their members to kill a boss now just for fun, because this Mesmer is just on patrol duty.
Yeah, Thane's still in the downstate here, and it looks like Boonster is taken out as well. We do have Monster Penny's running for his life, gonna get caught in the roads by Drake. Things aren't looking good for them. Probably just gonna, you know, see what they can do here at the end of the game, try and scrap up some more points, but it's looking like it could be 500 to 39. Probably not another point going to be going in favor of this blue team.
Definitely going to agree with you on that one. Maybe some more personal score points coming up for them getting decaps, but real points I don't see happening.
Speed a lot, going for that decap at the midpoint, should be able to get it. I don't think Beyond's.
Ellie blinks on point, saves it.
Over at the
mid. I don't think the Mesmer needs to necessarily be chasing the Ellie. I think that's a bit overkill, especially seeing how low that Ellie originally is. So I feel like that's a little bit of a wasted resource. And yeah, he sees it now, and he should just rotate out and go help the mid node and try and 2v2 that. They actually do manage to land that, because Beyond did see that there were 2 of them there, but he didn't want to 1v2 it. So what I was talking about before, like that wasted Mesmer resource chasing the Ellie, was just unneeded. So what they could have done is just took the 2v2 while it was still a neuted node. And meanwhile, taking a look over at the far node, it looks like we see a Plague coming on out, and Candace is 2v2ing right now. It looks like they're winning.
Yeah, it looks like Thane is taken out, and Boonster going to be taken out in just a matter of seconds here. Still in that Plague form, but doesn't have a whole lot outside of it. Surprised he hasn't left yet for Death Shroud. We'll have to see if he decides to do that. No, he doesn't. He's just going to die in Plague. Probably a poor move on his part, but I don't really think it would have helped his team. We are going to have game number 1. Going in favor of Club of Candace, taking that one 501 to 49. Pretty dominant throughout the entire match.
Congratulations to them. Well-earned victory.
It's a little bit lopsided, but even so, what do you think this blue team can, you know, probably, I don't want to jump the gun and say they're going to lose game 2, but looking after that first one, I kind of want to say Club of Candace going to take the set. What do you think this blue team can do to, you know, try and scrap up some more points instead of, you know, 49 in the last match?
I don't know. I really think it just comes down to the blue team just getting pure out rawly mechanicked. You know, like I don't feel like the rotations were really that bad. I feel like they just lost a lot of even numbered situations.
Yeah, it didn't look too good for them right off the start too. They had a very weird opening. It was defensive, and they did get the kill on Ellie at the midpoint, but ultimately, I mean, they lost their home point and they ended up losing mid eventually. I think they held it for a little bit, but just getting out-rotated and losing most of their team fights, not every single team fight, really hurt them. And not a whole lot of points going in their favor. This Club of Candace team looking pretty strong, looking to move on into the semifinals, where I believe they would be taking on What Are We Doing Guys. What Are We Doing Guys is a team that has played in this tournament for the past few months and dominated every single team they have played for the most part. The only time they've ever lost is against one, I think it was an alt account team. But other than that, they've dominated every single team. So I would be surprised
I'd love to see that matchup. The red team is looking really strong right here. Candace, like, okay, so Candace is really, really good when it comes to making strategies, calling splits, helping his team up the rotations. The common thing that like a lot of people will like kind of say fault him on is that kind of he's not the strongest when it comes to mechanics of his class. But I think his lack of mechanics is really made up for the strategy he brings to his team. And that's a really important part of when you're just playing with a new team, just getting a solid, sound strategy, and, you know, keeping everyone temper-minded and able to have people rotate to where they need to be.
Yeah, we are just waiting on a couple of members to ready up. In the meantime, though,
Dynasty Warriors?
I'm sorry?
Ever play a game called Dynasty Warriors?
Can't say I have. I think I've heard of it, though.
Well, for those of you who have, I'd say Candace is like the Zhuge Liang. Any Dynasty Warriors fans out there?
Whatever that
Don't
equates
laugh at me,
to.
it was a great hack and slash.
We do have game number 2 underway here, just about to start up.
Start soon.
Oh, man. Alright, guys.
Alright, open up that
Who do you
map.
think's going to be taking this game number 2? Do you think Club Candace got this in the bag, 500-0, or do you think Blue Team going to be
That
able to...
bag is sealed, it's over the shoulder, they're ready.
Bag is sealed. Alright, take a look at the opening splits for both these teams. It looks like they're going to have Beyond go cap his home point. There's a very defensive split coming out from this Blue Team, sending all 5 members to their home point. Probably just want to win a team fight over at the waterfall, expecting crossers, and that it is. We're going to have Purgatory.
From there. They do have a portal. Alright, watch out what this Blue Team Mesmer doing. Left the portal there. They might just get one node secure and then portal bomb the next. So let's see what they do with that. But right now the main action is happening over at the waterfall node.
It's a 4v2 right here, and this Blue Team still hasn't put out any damage onto a Candace. Looks like Purgatory now taking a bit of it. Has Plague Up if he needs it as a seal. He should be okay for the time. Actually, most of that fight he was in FGS, so really didn't do a lot. Didn't have a whole lot to save himself with, so he should be okay. But still, this is a 4v3 now, because at the midpoint we saw Speedy Lock actually taken down. I believe they were 2v3ing the red team. I think that was just a very poor opening once again coming out from this blue team. Going to be losing Speedy Lock. Now Mark Dane get pretty low. Over at the waterfall though, Lin coming back to it. It looks like Beyond B going to spike down Lin and probably wipe most of, if not all of this blue team.
Yeah, but one Mechanus is actually down in waterfall and he's getting plague res, and the stuff almost comes out not fully connecting. But Monster has his rampage up. He could totally pop a rampage and just destroy the red team members on this node before his teammate dies. Teammate popping a really poor plague, in my opinion, the 5% plague. That's more of like a panic situation. I can't really fault him for it, but I think it was a waste. And same thing for holding the rampage for so long.
Yeah, definitely.
Not good use of elites there. Now they're just going to be forced off node, and he's not even going to be able to die on node. So they're just going to bleed him out and just further extend his res timer.
Yeah, they should be good right here to get this 3 cap. We are going to see Speedy Lock and Lin stealth up. Moving over to 2v1, it looks like Drake going to be the main target for them. We'll have to see if they're able to take this kill. They don't have any points. They're going to mow him and just absolutely obliterate Drake. That was a pretty good pickup. They need to keep some cleave on that. Is Beyond B going to come and throw down the SR, going in for the res? Is going to have LA to do this as well. Easily getting that res by himself, though. LA wasn't even there to touch him for that matter. So now their main target's going to be Speedy Lock, getting under a lot of heat. Has SR up if he needs to use it. Ultimately, they really need to bail this fight. Regroup with their team at this midpoint, as that seems to be where most of their team is.
Looks like they shatter a future portal themselves over to mid. Trying to get some decent damage over to Purgatory, but he's doing a pretty nice job living right now. The blue team members supported in were also pretty low, so they couldn't really go as ham as they would have liked because it would have cost them too much HP. And right now we see, yeah, the blue team's Mesmer now going to be able to get rezzed. He's going to just be bled out on the node, no need to stomp, and the blue team's thief will fall down shortly, trying to port away. Are they actually going to decap? That'd be funny.
They did get the decap over here. We already see a Candace going for the Lord right here.
Highlight a Candace on the Lord. Can he 1v1 on Ellie? PvE. It got buffed recently. Seems like he's not going for the full pull. Taking it slow. Pulls three NPCs. I personally would have pulled 4, but you know, taking his time. Okay.
Yeah, oh, I mean, he's able to get the NPCs down. Looking good over there. Let's take a look at what's going on over here at the quarry, though. A huge fight going on. Boonster getting pretty low. Purgatory throws down a heap of conditions onto him. No way he's going to get out of this one alive. No cooldowns whatsoever, so he will be taken down. Purgatory going in for this stomp. Going to get knocked back there by, it looked like that was Mark Thane who went in for the res, able to get that for his team. So that was a good pickup. Back at the Lord of Candace was actually plussed by a couple members of this blue team and taken out before he could even touch the Lord. So able to make sure he got out, got him out of there. Didn't want the game ending too early. They did get their first 5 points of the game, so at least that's a plus for them.
Candace, what a nice guy, making sure everyone gets match credit. And yeah, we're going to see the blue team get completely wiped off the quarry node, and I think they're going to be able to get Waterfall off this as well.
Yeah.
Unless Delphine Drake in 1v2, which, who knows, might happen. Oh, it gets off a really nice burst onto Lanere. How do you say that? Lanere? I'll call him Lanere. Forcing him to use his heal, just barely manages to get it off, and he's really taking a commanding lead in this 1v2, surprisingly, even forcing one of them away. So this is what I'm just talking about, like the pure mechanical skill of the red team is just outmatching the blue teams.
Yeah, Speedy Lock taken down there by that Drake's Breath, so I think we're going to see this end fairly soon here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lord push coming out from this red team after they, mop up the mess over here at the Waterfall. But we still got a fight going on over at Quarry. They still have not managed to take out Monster. Okay, Monster Hat's actually taken out there. Thane still staying alive. He is going to get 3v1. Beyond being Ellie going to plus this fight. He should just, yes, he's going to go back on that point knowing he's not going to get out of there alive, just wants to die on the point. But ultimately, Rip Boonster, the only one alive, I don't think he should be moving into Waterfall right here. Just needs to regroup with this team. Despite it only being a 1v1, I think a lot of numbers of this red team are going to plus this fight and probably move to the Lord.
I think the blue team needs some hero plays right now. They need some 1v2s at this point to get a 3-cap back in here. But I don't see that happening. It's just, even when they outnumber them, they can't even kill them fast enough.
That's definitely true. Boonster seemingly the main target for this team. A lot of Condi sitting on him right now. I'll see if he's able to cleanse those or not. As his Condi cleanse, gets him off I think, but still taken down regardless. So much physical damage coming out from Beyond B, and I believe that's Drake able to take him out. So we are going to see a full cap still from Speedy Lock, who came off a respawn. No one for the red team even close to that quarry node. So that's a good pickup at least. They're getting more than 5 points. Able to contribute to the team a little bit there.
Blue team grabbed the capture
yep,
point.
Definitely. Oh, wow, we do see the Thief being able to sneak past the red team's lines and go for Quarry, but the red team really doesn't care at this point because they know that there's already some NPCs down to Lord, and yeah, they're definitely just going to go for it. Does he have Moab or Time
There's the
Warp
portal.
Yeah, he has Time Warp too.
Threw down a portal, but
portal some teammates in. Yep,
no one takes the portal. No one takes the portal. Not sure what that was all about, but yeah.
Portal.
That's a style portal, yeah, definitely so. So we are going to see this red team, that would be Club of Candace, taking game number 2, going to be moving on into the semifinals to take on, what are we doing guys, if I'm not mistaken. I think that one hasn't ended, but that's up against the free agent team. I'm fairly certain they've got that in the bag. Any last thoughts on that match there?
Congratulations to Team of Candace.
Oh, anything for that blue team? What do you think they can improve on for next week coming back? So they were in it last week. Hope they come back next week despite a very, very lopsided loss there.
I mean, if they want to take this seriously, I think they should just go into a custom server and just really 2v2 each other, 1v1 each other, get really familiar with the matchups, and get more comfortable in fighting in those team scenarios. Because it seemed like their 2v2s and 3v3s weren't really strong, and they can never really find 1v1s, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats again to Club of Candace, guys. We're going to go on a short break. When we're back, we'll have our first semi-final match. Excuse me. Stay tuned.
savage.
The truth is running in our blood. The answers are lying here within.
Alright, welcome back everybody to the AG Weekly number 29. Unfortunately, we have a few games that are taking quite some time, and we were supposed to show a semifinal up next, but apparently, What Are We Doing Guys has went into a game number 3 with one of our free agent teams, Team iPhone. I know it's the best team name ever, I created it, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on in this game number 3. We've got What Are We Doing Guys over on the red, like I said, 1-1 up against Team iPhone. They've got some players. I don't exactly know who these players are, though. Apparently, they've got some really good Mesmers on their team, even though they only have apparently Jet taking a shatter. Have you heard of these guys, Nas?
No, but they're playing Mesmer, so I believe they're really good.
The match starts
Yeah,
soon.
definitely. So I couldn't. Of course they're good. They're playing Mesmer. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got for these guys. Obviously, no time for builds as we have the second game underway. But some notable players on the red team: Slyn, Cleric Sambo, Aerodynamic. These three guys have definitely been with this team. What Are We Doing Guys for weeks on end here. But going into a game number 3, this is just kind of crazy. Taking a look at the opening splits, we've got a pretty defensive split coming out for this blue team, sending 2 people to a home point. We're going to see a stealth play, no doubt, come out for 4 members of the red. Not even going to bother with the with the clock tower, moving to 4 over to
Just like
attack
that,
Jet here at
blue
the
team
mansion.
takes a capture point.
Cleric Sambo kind of coming in handicapped in this one because he did waste the blink. I think he might have misclicked it and went like a centimeter in front, but he's just going to try and contest the node right now. Unfortunately, the blue team already capped it, so he's not really doing much on node right now. He's actually having trouble surviving on it. We do see the Lich Form come out, and hopefully he can do a lot of damage here. Not any blue team members here to do so many counter pressure to it, so it looks like he's going to be able to go ham Lich Form running out. We've seen the pressure
Blue
just
team
maintains
grab the capture
on the
point.
blue team, but meanwhile they should really have the other 2 nodes at this point, the blue team, I feel like.
Yeah,
just being so outnumbered at Mansion.
We do have the 2 cap coming out there for a second from this blue team, but they are gonna red team gonna be cleaning up that fight at the midpoint. Red team holding on to this Jet, and it looks like that is from Beverly Hills sitting on here trying to get the decap from this red team. 1 tick away, so close for it. Aerodynamic being the main focus, he is gonna be taken into the downstate here. They do manage to get the decap. Ultimately going in for that stomp though. Will they have it? So much damage coming out from Beverly Hills. Taking a look at his build, he's running rifle greatsword, so he's got a lot of damage. But
Running kill shot.
I don't really like rifle, but you know it's working for them. They're up, or they're tied 1-1 in this game. Have a very small lead at the beginning of it, about a minute and a half in. What are your thoughts right here at this point in the game? Who do you think's got the upper hand? Obviously Felix Norris and from Beverly Hills going into the downstate. Do you think this is where Red could take it? At least
Yeah,
you
I
know
think
get
this
it
is
surge
where
ahead.
Red will take it because we see two blue team members simultaneously going to the downstate. I feel like they should be able to sweep the map at this point. Aerodynamic was 1v3'd on mid node and was able to hold it for a long time, and because he didn't die, the blue team wasn't able to snowball in return. So the blue team's Mesmer being outnumbered on Mansion node didn't really pay off for them because they weren't able to do the same to the enemy team's Elementalist.
Yeah, taking his shatters all over Edelweiss there. He is getting so low, has hardly any health left, trying to bail out of this fight. Is he going to be pursued by anyone? Looks like not. Lyric going to try and peel a little bit. He's actually going to make a move towards, it looks like Felix over here. Maybe going for a decap over at the windmill, making use of that. No, he does not actually have portal. He's not using portal. He's using decoy over portal. Now that's something to take note of coming out from Lyric. But ultimately, this mid fight still being the center of attention. We do have Tread play coming out from Beverly Hills. Going to be supporting his team there. That could be where they take it as Edel does go into the downstate. Trying to get stomped by Jet, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to bleed him out.
I think they're just going to bleed him at that point. We saw the red team get their windmill back, and we saw the blue team take their own home node back. So I feel like this will just be the classic, alright, everyone's got their home node, let's fight over mid now. And that's what it looks like still going on. Warrior opting to get off Trev, even though there's still some mid action here. That's an okay play if he feels like the red team is just dodging too well, since there's not like that many players on node. There's just 2 DDLEs slapping each other, and whichever one gets the big burst from the enemy team will probably go down first.
Yeah, we do see Slyn going for a decap over at the mansion. That's going to be a good pickup as long as taking a shatter. He does see him. He's going to blink over there and we'll make sure he doesn't get that Oh man, he does hit it. Nope, it's not going to happen. He did go into stealth. I thought he was going to be able to get that with that Bassi Venom hit, but Cleric's Hambo going to go for that 1v1 over at the midpoint. Edel still pretty. He's got a decent amount of health here. They are able to take down Infamous there. Going in for the stomp. Aerodynamic should be able to get him from Beverly Hills. Going to piece out of here. They are going to get their first 2-cap of the game, if I'm not mistaken. And they're still, you know, despite not having a 2-cap this game and kind of losing a few members, they're doing pretty well right here, trying to take their first lead, only down about 1 point.
I feel like the Killshot Warrior isn't really doing well for them right now, or Justice. Like, I don't see him landing as much damage as he should be for a Marauder's Amulet. And since he's not opting for Hammer, he can't even bring the heat CC that normally comes with that build. I feel like the red team kind of has them a little out-comp there.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to see a huge wipe coming out from blue, but Edel and Sin are both taken into the downstate. Cleric's Hambo running for his life. Has a little bit left. He should be able to make it out of there alive on that, unless that Mesmer is able to land a Mirror Blade Shatter combo. It looks like he should be okay for the time being. Moving on into the midpoint. Red team still holding on to a 2-cap. Got a couple people coming out from respawn. We are going to see a Mesmer taking a Shatter, making him push for the 1v1 over at the windmill. Going to get some help from his warrior. But what do we got going on at the midpoint?
Aerodynamic managing to get a node just in the nick of time, and it looks like it's a 3v2. It's kind of hard to tell with all these Mesmers. Might be, yeah, it's 3v2. Both the Mesmers there, and because there are 2 Mesmers there, things are gonna die. Mesmers are really good at making that happen, but we do see some Treb gameplay coming in from the red team. Sins of Slyn is trebbing mid, so if he can land the solid trap shots on a Mesmer, that'll definitely force him out for a bit. But we see Cleric's Hambo getting to downstate, Aerodynamic trying to get off the res. Big Shatter Burst comes in. The Treb actually doesn't land, gets miscalculated there, but he manages to get the res anyway. So they just need to make sure they dodge these trap shots, and if they would have gotten that kill, that would have been a 3-cap right there for them.
Yeah, that really could have given them a decent amount of lead, but that trap play really helping him. Infamous getting super low here. Gonna land. Oh no, he did manage to dodge roll that one, as he did not dodge roll the first few. Has Ethereal on DD Ellie. That's an interesting choice
really
as well.
DCAP, no, not quite. Aerodynamic just comes in the nick of time. Once again, he really is doing a good job of making sure that they don't get this mid node. It's kind of the red team saving grace at this point, and just living for so long, outnumbered by fighting these Ellies, these Mesmers. Or good job and kudos to him. And
yeah, we did
the red
see
team getting their home node back, and apparently there was a fight at Windmill that's not going so hot.
Yeah, Beverly Hills is in Rampage. Vengeance though. Oh my gosh.
But actually rallies himself too.
Oh
this
man.
is huge for the blue team, and then just destroys the red team's Mesmer.
What the? That is such good luck coming out there from that warrior.
That's going to keep blue team into this really well, because now they can try and snowball and help their teammates over at mid.
That would have been a 3-cap.
Warrior, dude.
If he hadn't got that stomp, that would have definitely been a 3-cap coming out for him. And got the rally off of that too. Man, that is pretty lucky coming out for him. Jet though taken down at the midpoint. Still 2-cap coming out for What Are We Doing, guys? Coming out for respawn. We're going to see Edel get that D-cap, possibly full cap over there at the windmill as well.
Yep, looks like they're 2-manning resing this right now while the other does some pressure. The one's still mowed, so we don't see much pressure coming out. Now we see the Thief stabbing away, and then I think they're just going to give up the res. Huge trap shots coming in and taking the blue team by surprise. I think they still do manage to get another res. I think they should just ditch right now and go for sides. I don't think you're going to be able to make much progress. It seems like their strength has been in the side nodes.
But the 3-cap right now.
Yeah, the 3-cap.
The 3-cap really going to give them a surge in points here. We do have a little bit of trap play coming off there from Lyric, if I'm not mistaken. They don't really need it right now because that big fight, despite losing it over at the windmill, they still mopped up the midpoint in the end. Still got the full cap because Edel came off a respawn and got that for his team. Didn't really give the blue team many points from that. We are going to see this blue team warrior make his push for a 2v1 against Edel. Going to get some support from Cleric's Hambo coming from that midpoint. Ultimately, things looking really good for What Are We Doing, guys.
There's just no decapping Aerodynamic. Just take a look at the mansion and you see him getting on just at the nick of time again. So the Ellie being there is like completely waste. Going to get outnumbered for a bit, and then they're just going to lose this 2v2 if they choose to take it. And now, yeah, they're getting outnumbered 3v2 here. Ellie goes down, probably going to misform to node, and I feel like the other Ellie should just ditch at this point, and that's what it looks like he's going to be doing, saying like, I know I can't win this, but I have no ability to get out. That's what I'm going to do. It looks like Jet's trying to save the day. Going for the PU stealth res.
Is it going to happen? Oh!
I don't think it's going to happen.
Aerodynamic,
no,
a lot of...
there and he abandons. Good
Aerodynamic.
The blue team. They did
really
manage to outnumber red for a little bit over at the windmill, though, taking that. So thinking a shatter is going to 1v1 Cleric's Hambo, now it's going to turn into 2v2, where the really low kill shot is going to come in. But just fresh from the grave, Ed Wille, I don't know how to say his name. The
I
red team
always-
tanker coming in, just destroying the blue team.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good plays coming out from Edelweiss. That's what I'm going to be calling him. And Aerodynamic all game long. Really, I don't want to say carrying this team, but we've seen a lot of plays coming out from them, more so than I feel like Larrick and Sins. Although we have seen some good tread play coming out from this red team. Now the blue team could be trying to tread the midpoint. We are going to see them, kind of waver. This is a 3v1 situation. Felix going to be taken down here in a matter of time. Coming off a respawn. Decap from Infamous going for that full cap, but red team still holding on to this 2 cap. I don't see that. I don't see blue getting back in this one. I think we're going to see what are we doing, guys.
Kylo is
number 3.
definitely, I think, the roughest map of the 3 main ones that you see people play on to make comebacks on. But it looks like the blue team is still trying. They aren't out of it yet. They got Manti back. It's still possible to get some really quick and clean kills, but it looks like they're going to be giving up. Felix goes in the downstate, calling GG for the blue team. And yeah, they can just sit on nodes. Any node of their choice, they're liking Windmill or Clock Tower, and just take it from there.
Yeah, we are going to have, what are we doing, guys? Moving on into the semifinals to take on Club of Candace. A very, very good match I think we're going to see. Hopefully, despite what are we doing, guys, going to a game number 3 with this blue team, they had 2 Mesmers, so at that, you can kind of expect them to put up a fight no matter who they are. But still, what are your thoughts on the, we only saw this one match, but what are your thoughts on it as a whole?
My kill shot, man. My kill shot.
Yeah, I think that kill shot didn't do a whole lot for his team. I mean, he did with Rampage. We saw a really nice play with Rampage, but
for a reason.
Yeah, I don't really like kill shot. I didn't like it in that game. I think he could have done a lot more with something, like a hammer for that matter. So, but anyhow, congrats to What Are We Doing, guys. Going to be moving on into the semifinals. That match between What Are We Doing, guys, and Club of Candace, we're going to have for you guys. We're going to go on a very short break to get that arena set up. And we'll have that when we're back. Stay tuned.
Arena A.
It's running in our blood. The answers are lying here within.
Welcome back, everybody, to the AG Weekly number 29. We have our next matchup ready for you guys. It's going to be What Are We Doing, Guys? The team that we just saw beat that Team iPhone, the free agent team, in a 2-1 set up against Club at Candace. Let's not waste any more time. We've had enough break. Taking a look at what we've got. We've got What Are We Doing, Guys over on the red here. You want to take us away with their builds really quick?
Yeah, and something before I go into that I'd like to point out is this is a mirror comp, class for class.
Despite us not being able to see it on,
better.
we can't see it on screen because we see black marks, but yes, they are mirror
I
comps.
promise it's true. So looking at aerodynamic, and this is kind of making more sense to me why he was able to live so more. Instead of running fire, the classic, what you see most DDLs run these days, he's going to take arcane, water, and earth, so he's going to be able to survive a lot more. So this explains why he was able to survive the rest a lot better. And moving on to the Thief, we're going to be seeing him take the Shadow Arts variant of Dagger Pistol, Vampire's Marauder, a lot of damage, good team support, and able to get in some sneaky reds with that stealth. And next we're going to be taking a look at the Mesmer, not opting for the full-out Mantra setup, but still going for the Inspiration line. Next up, we're going to be having a look at the other Elementalist for the team, who is taking what you'd normally expect from Elementalists these days. Dagger, Celestial Amulet, opting for Rune of the Vamp, expecting more of the burst to be on him instead of his Stoneheart ally, which is a correct assumption to make, and he's going to be taking fire for more damage. Last but certainly not least is the guy whose name I have trouble with.
We'll just call him Edel.
Edwell.
Edel.
He's
Ed
gonna
or
be
Edel?
running the Celestial variant of my build, but unique differences here, because he's not actually running Celestial, the same traits though, for the most part. Opting for Marauders and Scholar, and kind of like if Crisis wanted to make a Crisis build for Necro, this would be his way of doing it, I feel like. Opting for no staff, so no really range pressure there, and going for Dagger Focus and Axe Warhorn. Personally, not how I would build the Necro, but hey, he's been doing well this far. Keep going, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see the creativity.
Yeah, this is not something we saw in the last match from him, so interested to see how this is going to work out for him. Taking a look over at Club at Candace, we've got L8 running DD with Holbeck Runes. He's going to be running, she, excuse me, is going to be running Fire over the Earth. Purgatory playing your build, as we call it now. Dagger Warhorn with the staff. Strength Rune's going to be running Spite, Curses, and Soul Reaping for himself. Nothing too special there. Beyond B, though, playing Sword Dagger. This is interesting. We haven't seen Sword Dagger play much, I don't think in any tournament for that matter. Yeah, Sword Dagger, this is interesting. It's not terrible, but I really just don't think it's nearly as good as Dagger Pistol. But we'll see how it works out for him. Running with the short bow, Marauder, and running Vamp Runes. Trickery, Deadly Arts, and Acrobatics. So it's taking Acro SD there. Interesting build. Interesting. We'll have to see how that works out for him against Slyn in particular. Drake going to be sticking to that Mesmer with the staff, Great Sword, Vampire's running Domination, or Dueling, excuse me, and Chaos, sticking to Chaos line, which is, over the Domination, or excuse me, Inspiration. Kind of an interesting choice there. And finally, Candace, who is going to be running something different as well, running DDLA with Strength Runes. Going to be running Air, Water, and Arcane. Can't say I've seen Air.
He's trolling.
He must be. Has to be, because he's running super speed for that matter. So, really interested to see how this is going to work for him. Really interested to see, because air is not something we've seen taken in this meta, nor is SD whatsoever. I can't even say, we see a lot of interesting things, Nos, in Academy Gaming tournaments. I mean a lot of interesting things, and I can't say I've seen this. So, for that matter, we're just taken up a notch with how weird AG is sometimes running with that air. We'll have to see if he is trolling.
Just how weird a Candace is.
Yeah. Beyond B definitely going to be sticking to SD though. That I can't say that's anything too crazy, but it is what it is. Just waiting on these guys to ready up. But taking a look, these are two really strong teams. Who do you think is going to take this set?
This is a really, really hard call, and I don't think I can accurately predict it, but if I were to guess, I'd say the blue team. I really trust the Candace's calls, and I really think they have solid mechanics, and I haven't seen much of red team, but I think red team, same can be said about them too.
I'm going to go the other way around. I think What Are We Doing, Guys is such a strong team, and while I don't think they have all 5 of their members here, Aerodynamic, Cleric, Sambo, and Slyn, and Edel, I think all 4 of those guys are normally a part of this roster, and I think they can I think they can take this if they're really stepping up their play. Last game we did see them, it wasn't that close, but they won 2-1 in that set against a free agent team. But even so, free agent teams can actually be pretty decent, especially if they bring 2 Mesmers to the table. So with that, we do have this game number 1 underway. In this first semifinal matchup, taking a look at the opening splits for both of these teams, it looks like we're going to see a couple of members of this red team be crossing, unlike the blue team, going to be playing it safe with that 2-point push, opting to make sure no one crosses at their home point.
Let's see if the safe split works out for the blue team, holding Ellie back, just anticipating the aggressiveness coming in. Ellie sees that aerodynamics going in for the cross, trying to stall. Hopefully they can get the cap in time, and it looks like nope, thanks to the FGS they'll be able to get a note. Looks they're ready to burst. Blue team's Elementalist right now. Lyric's looking the Ellie's way. They're not quite sure who they want to burst.
Yeah, but look at this blue team.
But they're going for Purgatory, and blue team rotating a member back right now, and it looks like we have a big fight happening over at the engine node.
Yeah, blue team really didn't capitalize on having the numbers at the midpoint. They could have sent one guy into that point, probably capped it by now, but since they didn't, red team going to be holding on to this one cap. Purgatory still super low right here, as is Drake, who needs to be very careful at that midpoint, being 2v1. But things looking really good at the start of this game for red with that 2-0-3 split that we saw. Though Slyn was taken into the downstate, I don't think he's going to get res. We do see the time warp coming out from Lyric going in for it. Will it be enough? I don't think so.
Nope, and it looks like he's going to be going down, but Purgatory is also real low, so maybe they can kill him and make an even fight at this point.
Slyn actually fully really dead, though.
Transfer the conditions away, and yeah, he gets spiked down. Ellie going for theirs, but I think it's too low and just needs to try and stay at this point.
Candace taken down at the midpoint. We do see that stab stomp coming out there from Aerodynamic. We didn't even see a Vapor Form coming out there for, actually that was Purgatory. Yeah, I thought it was an Elementalist that was down. Candace was down at the midpoint. Taking a look at what's going on there, we do have Cleric's Hambo, who's super low here, just had 100% health. Vampirin's going to pop for him. Should be okay unless Drake does decide to chase him out. Looks like he'll be okay for the time being, as Edel on the midpoint being 2v1 is going to be taken into the downstate. So I think red team right now need to bail out of the midpoint, play for sides, because they can do it as long as Lyrics isn't killed, but he did go into the downstate. Aerodynamic forced to 1v2 for the time being, probably his best move to just piece out of this fight.
I think of all the games where you don't really want to play sides, Forest is one of the main reasons why, is because the home node on this map is really, really close to their spawn. So if they can't take a dominating lead into these team fights that break out on the enemy team's home node, then they're going to struggle keeping it, because let's say they down someone, they can't down another one, the guy will be back in like 15-20 seconds really fast and into it. So you see the blue team actually coming out of that surprisingly with the 2 cap.
Yeah, red team with a very slight lead. They got a little wiggle room because they did hold on to that 1 cap for quite some time. Ooh, we do see... Oh, will the decap happen? No, it does not. Slyn has no cooldowns aside from SR, not even going to be able to get that one off. Aerodynamic coming in for that res on him. Has a few cooldowns, already taken down to about 50% HP without any cantrips left. Now getting support from his team. Not sure if it's going to be enough. Beyond B sticking on top of him with that ST weapon set. Is it going to be enough? Beyond getting super low, forced into Vampirunes now. We've got a full 5-on-5 going on at this midpoint.
Oh my god, Mom, get the camera. This is going to be intense. We see the red team's thief.
Oh god.
Just be bled out over there, so it's really not as... Oh my god, is he gonna decap? Drake, please. Oh my god, Drake.
Able to get that one.
I trusted you.
Able to get that decap.
A silly decap happened as a result. Beyond looks like he's being really pressured to get spiked down 1v3 in the enemy team stairs. Blue team not really anywhere to be found to support him. Maybe overextended too much. Maybe his team...
Not going to be able to get that one. There's no way. I don't think they should even attempt for that, and they're not going to. So that's a good pickup coming out for What Are We Doing, guys. Coming out, we do see Sins coming off of respawn, but still that decap was huge because that 2 cap is no longer ticking for this red team. So for blue, excuse me. So red still holding on to a decent lead. There's the full cap at the midpoint as red team was fighting a skirmish off the point here. They're going to get their thief to the fight before Beyond B gets to the fight, who looks to be moving through that beach, probably going for a decap over at the mine.
I feel like what's going to happen here is blue team's going to transition to a side node game. I see the portal be laid down at mid, and I see Delphine Drake getting out to a position where he can misform res, and that's what happened. They port the teammates out, gonna res them. We already see the thief getting mine, and then looks like they're just going to collapse Henge and just go for the 2 node game at that point.
That was a really good rotation.
Even right now, yeah, good call probably. I can see a Candace or hear him in TeamSpeak now, just probably making that. You can hear his voice.
Slyn throws down the SR. Outside of it, though, he did get caught in the mob. He is going to be under a lot of heat in a 1v3. Not a whole lot of support coming out. Actually, Cleric's Hambo was there. That was a 2v3. We are going to see a 1v1 between, I believe that is Larix and Beyond able to get that decap over there at the mine. I really think that matchup is kind of 50-50 right now. We'll have to see if Beyond is able to land some deeps on there. Playing the SD set, what are your thoughts on this matchup here at mine?
I'm not really familiar with the SD matchup because I never see it before. So I'm actually really interested to see, but this is the Legendary Thief v Mesmer matchup, so I'm gonna have to say it's pretty close to 50-50 like you said. It looks like Beyond's doing a good job of keeping pressure on. Larix kind of using LOS there pretty well. Beyond doing a decent job of getting burst. If he does land a decent spike, I think this 1v1 is gonna be interrupted, and we're gonna be seeing a 2v2.
Yeah, we are going to see both Ellies make their way over here. One caps, it looks like they swapped once again because we see blue team getting the hench out and red getting that midpoint. So it feels like there's been one caps for most of the game. A couple of two caps coming out for the blue team, but almost instantly decapped here. Beyond staying on top of Larix. Larix has a couple of cooldowns left, does blink out of that situation, has time warp up if he wants to try and spike someone down or if a team member goes down. We do see the Lich coming out from Edel, but we do see Larix taken out in this fight. Candace being the main target for this Lich, he is taken into the downstate.
Shadow Refuge.
Oh man.
Shadow Refuge and Beyond, and then hopefully dodge around, hopefully don't die. Dodges out of the mist, out of the stealth, unfortunately.
Doesn't even get to the portal.
Doesn't stand a chance of being rezzed at all.
Doesn't get the portal either. We see the time warp coming out from, I think that was Drake. Yes, Drake threw down the time warp. My words are getting all mixed up here. This is intense. We got a first two cap of the game coming out for What Are We Doing, guys? Still a really close matchup.
I'm really not liking how this Necro's taking the 1v1 over at the mid node. He's not really even trying to get a decap, and it's not like he's going super ham with the pressure anyways. Just wasting time there. Then didn't even score a decap, so he's going to be forced out. And it looks like the blue team's actually going to transition this into a team fight. Interesting choice. Nope, just Beyond seeing probably not, just going to back out on over there.
Yeah,
Delphine Drake actually 1v1ing Aerodynamic.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Doing a pretty good job there, yeah for sure.
Aerodynamic though.
Overstayed his welcome there for sure. I think he should have bailed out earlier.
Yeah, this 1v1 is going to get plus though. We do see Slind making his way over there. Candace hot in pursuit. I think this kind of favors the Mesmer and Ellie, but we'll have to see what Slind is going to be doing, who's going to be focusing. And it looks like Drake was the main focus, got taken down really low there. A lot of pressure coming out from Slind. That's pretty good. There's the two cap once again as Aerodynamic able to get that cap. Now Slind under a lot of heat, going to get some support from Aerodynamic. Great updraft, mitigating a lot of the damage. We do see the Larix, the Mesmer for the red team, coming to plus this fight, making it 3v2. Now the mid fight is really favoring this blue team, but already taking out Drake over at the mine. They need to get back to mid before red loses that cap.
Yeah, and it looks like the blue team's force at mine's been completely wiped down in what appears to be a 3v2 scenario. Kanish is doing his best to make sure he can die on node. Hopefully he can misform on there, else he's just going to have a really ugly, nasty rest timer.
Ooh,
so
Cleric's
like
Hambo.
Forced to stomp out.
Oh.
And the red team actually seeing a down happen over onto the mid node, and he gets full stomp. Nope, the misform saving.
That's kind of okay because Candace is already eliminated from the fight. So is Drake coming off a respawn. So they're really not outnumbered despite losing Cleric's Hambo there. They're going to get the Thief to the midpoint. Ellie actually taken into the downstate. Edel doing so much damage in that Death Shroud. Able to get his heal off. Back up to almost full health here. Purgatory now being chased into Plague form. Going in for that res onto Ellie. The stomp did come out there from the red team, making sure Ellie doesn't get back up to this one. Now we see Purgatory taking out, coming off a respawn though. Beyond going for the decap over at the mine. Able to get that before Cleric's Hambo gets there in time. Slind going for the decap over at the henge. Will he be able to get this? I'm not so sure.
Candace that blink, he does. He managed to get a no neck of time. Really, they need every
Oh, that fear though! So close! Thought he was able to get that.
Blue team's still suffering from the wipe that just happened at mid, so someone's going to be outnumbered for quite a long time now. Akan is forcing Slind off node. Hopefully he doesn't get tricked into getting decap, but nope, just stays close and home to the node. Are they going to go for a res here? I see Ellie pushing in right now. Not quite sure if this is the best choice for her. I feel like they should just focus on sides for a bit and just hopefully the red team will misplay and just keep sewing at mid. It looks like they're really dedicating. The Lich pops out. Hopefully the Lich gets focused. Beyond and Ellie both go on a bunch of burn stacks. It's only pulsating once ability, so it is possible to see.
Oh, Ellie blown up.
It looks like they have 3 members.
And a great rotation from Slind, able to get the decap.
Decap by the Thief over on the henge node. Yeah, not looking good for the blue team at all right now.
But they are 2v1ing over at the mine. Cleric's Hambo needs some support instantly. He does have a couple members making his way over there. No cantrips left. Vampire's popping. Not going to do anything for him. He's going to be taken into the downstate. Should be able to hold on to the cap. They are going to throw down. I'm not so sure it was his wisest decision to move off of that right there. I think he should have stayed on that point, let his team come to him and hold that one. But regardless, only 100 points away from victory. Beyond B getting pretty low in the process, needs to bail out of that fight. Things looking pretty good for this red team. Blue team still has a chance of a comeback, though. What do you think they need to do right here?
I feel like the blue team needs to play really risky, and I still feel like they're playing safe. For example, they down Cleric's Hambo, right? They totally just should have left him to Bled there and just hope that the red team made the mistake of trying to res and just cleave him, wipe him all, but they went for the safe play and just stomped him. Now we see him back into play ready with the FGS looking for another node to go to. But it does look like the blue team does have sides, so maybe if they can throw in some boss kills in there, I can totally see this happening. But blue team really getting hungry right now, beyond chasing into the mid node, outnumbered, and yeah, gets spiked down. Definitely not what they needed to happen.
Oh, but look, Laric's going to be taken down.
As invulnerability, good save coming in, good use of time warp. Beyond staying in the Shadow Refuge, gonna stealth up. Delphine Drake on the other hand is going in ham. Larix gets taken down. This could be the counter 3 cap we see happening. They have both side nodes secured and yeah.
Oh man, Aerodynamic annihilated there.
On a cap node, really bad for the red team, really good for the blue team, assuming a Canis doesn't throw, which I don't think he will.
He's gonna get plussed here by Slin.
Will Canis, he needs to live on the henge node.
Oh, I don't know, Slin coming in. If Slin's able to spike him down here, will we see the Heartseeker seal? There he is, taken down by the 5k crit, but look.
So it is possible. I think they're going to get the newt. Okay,
will the newt happen? Oh, so close.
Is the newt even going to happen?
No, it doesn't.
Delphine Drake, get on that point and save. Esports, sorry, Beyond going for the
Shadow Refuge, though, it will get the newt.
Okay, it's fine. Kind of expected the newt to happen. They still have the other 2 nodes, fine and dandy. Now if they can get some counter pressure on one of the red team's members and just make sure that they don't get the node, they're good. Just stall while they have the 2 cap. Perfect. We see a 3v3 happening over on the henge node. Fine. Ken is thinking that's best to just hold these 2 nodes, actually. I personally would have gone for the stall on that node, but Ken is probably making the call. You know what? I did the math, did the calculations. We just need these 2
but
nodes
Beyond getting pretty low over here as well. Slin, super low, has withdraw up in just a second. Will he be able to stay alive? It looks like he should for the time being. A 2v2. Numbers definitely favoring this red team.
On mid, they got off the node.
Oh man, that's a huge. And Candace,
they're losing it.
Candace goes into the down state. Will this comeback happen or not? No!
Then Purgatory needs to get some kind of Plaguers, but I don't even know if he has that cooldown up. Let's see if he does. Let's see if he pops up.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
He does have it up, so it is possible. Why isn't he doing it?
We do see the rotation from Ellie though, from the mid.
Plague for him on note to hold it 1v2.
Ellie though.
Delphine Drake might be getting a decap there. Ellie seeing it, going for it, gets stunned off, and the decap does happen.
Oh wow.
And Purgatory is actually going for the Plague Res, and he gets it. Ellie rotates out of mind.
Now,
rotation, seeing that they really need this to happen. And Aerodynamic getting really low. 2 minutes.
He gets his heal off. He should be okay.
We do see a down happen over on the far node. Beyond goes down. Ed is really low. Drake low himself and goes
so
down.
Drake goes down. Both of them.
That's fine because they can still get a boss kill off this. And then.
Who's gonna, I don't know though. They're so close. They're going for it. No one for the red team. No one for blue. That's game.
Over on the henge node was huge.
I don't think that's happening. We are going to see the Ellie. It looks like a Candace going to be moving over here. Will it be enough? No, it is not. Game number 1. Going to what are we doing, guys? In a very, very tight game. That was just back and forth. That was a pretty crazy game. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think I disagree with some rotations they made near the end. They definitely could have had it. I feel like if they just would have stayed, that 3v3 on henge would have been fine, and had a 2v2 going on the other side of the map where they had the 2 nodes, perfect for them, because they just needed to stall. They needed to win. They needed to stall, which is a lot easier to achieve than a win itself.
Yeah, that was. I mean, we saw a huge stream of points come out for what are we doing, guys? Some really good team fights going in favor of Club of Candace, but you know, in the end, like you said, some poor rotations and some members of this Club of Candace going into the downstate, allowing for the red team to secure a point, secure some stomps to get that kill at the Chieftain. Really, they took out 2 of the key members. They took out Drake and Beyond, both people who would steal that Chieftain kill over at the mine, so there was no better time for them to go for that.
That was the critical moment.
Yes.
Had the blue team won that 2v2, they would have won the game.
Definitely so. So there we have it, up 1-0 here. What are we doing, guys? Up against their match this game.
Get off his miracle build that he thought would carry the day, going for Stoneheart, realizing that the red team has some nasty burst too that he'd like to avoid. I don't see any other changes coming up beyond. Oh, Beyond giving up the SD, realizing the true esports is with stealth and dagger pistol.
With shadow arts too, so.
Delphine staying with what he's got. I think he was doing fine that game. I mean, that was a bit of a weird decap, you know, let that one slide on mid, you know, it happens sometimes in downstate. But I don't think that would have mattered too much. I think the biggest impact that had that game is just having a member just waste the time to decap it while this team fight happens, you know, a little off node where he can't necessarily help at that time. And I think the red team really happy with themselves after that. And I think the blue team aren't fully demoralized because they did do a pretty nice comeback near the end and definitely made it possible for them to win. And when it comes to his advantage this map, it's the same comp.
Yeah, I mean, despite the changes coming out from Beyond, and now a Candace swapping over to Earth, I'm not so sure. We didn't actually look if he was air that last game. Well, once the game started, I didn't actually take a peek. But regardless, assuming he wasn't Earth, what are your thoughts on Beyond going back to SD this game, or DP, excuse me? Do you think they're going to be able to take this game number 2 and move on to Kylo? Or do you think, what are we doing, guys? It's got this one.
If Beyond is able to play DP as well as he can SD, I feel like he should be fine. Acanis definitely was not Stoneheart last game. I made sure. He was still in that weird, funky Aura Share build.
Yeah, we are just waiting on Slin to join up here and get this game underway. The winner of this set will be moving on to the finals, guaranteeing themselves some gems. Again, guys, I do want to remind you we do have a skin giveaway tonight. Not exactly sure what skin it's going to be. We will make that up as we, probably during one of the breaks, I'll look for a skin that's within my price range here. So we'll have to see what that is going to do, as I don't have any more gem code giveaways. I think I'm a little bit behind on those anyhow. So ultimately, I'm really feeling like Club of Kansas got the second game. I think with Beyond back on SD, they've got it, but I think the red team, what are we doing, guys, going to take this whole set. We'll have to see. Just waiting on a couple members to ready up.
The match starts soon.
Here we go. I'm actually really excited because that last game gave me something to be excited for.
Do have the pre-buff starting in this game number 2 about to get underway. Let's take a look at what we've got for both these teams. Opening splits. Looks like, what are we doing, guys? It's going to be standing Edel at home point, and we've got a Candace going to his home point. Let's see if we're going to have any cross-play coming out for both these teams. It looks like some stealth coming out for Slin. We are going to see it Beyond do the same for his team. So 3-point play coming out for this red team. They're going to be sending Cleric Sambo to 1v1 at Candace. What are your thoughts on these splits, and what do we have going on?
Candace, don't you throw that 1v1, I believe in you, bud. But taking a look at the 4v4 side of things, we're actually seeing mirrors everywhere. It's the Necros 1v1-ing, it's the Ellie's 1v1-ing, it's everyone else in some matchups I'm in. So this is about pure, raw, mechanical talent at this point. And it looks like the team's taking it right now. Drake being
so low.
Giant burst there and just getting his heal off good. Trying to cast some mantras, uses a portal defensively, probably going to come back and use it later to try and get out of there.
But Larix is all over him right here. Larix doing a great job. Slin super low as well, going to be taken into the downstate there. So is Drake. Who's going to get the stomp first? We see the time warp come out. They are going in for the res. The res comes out there, as we did see the time warp from Larix. It didn't let them get that stomp. It was such a slow stomp, and now Ellie's in the downstate. Does use Vapor Form to get over to the middle of the point, but still not going to be able to get out of that one. Drake under a lot of heat as well. Has the portal up if he wants to get out of it, but I just don't see that happening. He is going to be taken into the downstate.
Drake needed to mow something early on. If he was running Time Warp, they probably would have won that or made it a lot.
Look at this 1v1 between the Necros, though. We see the heal from Edel barely get off. Oh my goodness, Purgatory almost had that 1v1 right here. He's going to get some help, though, from his Steve Slin. Oh man, that heal was crucial.
Just expected because they lost the fight in mid. And seeing it happen, good play from coming in, allowing him to stall a little bit longer. Beyond might actually be able to spike down Ed and get some kind of cheeky rally coming off Purgatory dies. Goes for the stealth stomp. And it looks like he's going to be, unless he gets,
oh my goodness.
Steve does manage to blasting powder stealth it, and it looks like they're going to be outnumbered here, though they're still holding everything new, so that's good. Taking a look over at the waterfall node, it looks like Resident Sleeper's happening, so let's go back to the action over at Purgatory.
Purgatory's under a lot of heat.
Gets a good dodge, and here comes the Lich form in a 2v3, forcing them out, but Beyond does a good Shadow Refuge defensive play. But if he's able to res, that'll be huge too.
I don't know, but that Lich coming out from Edel is going to be so much damage.
Moa, that's a Lich. 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah, and Perk's still not going to be getting up there.
I think someone might have dodged it because his Moa did just good. thrown into a cooldown. I think what I would have liked to see happen instead is Delphine Drink just +1 waterfall and win it real fast. Just give blue team something to do. Instead, he just goes for kind of a play that probably won't work. It's not guaranteeing him anything.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy fight right there. Blue team still. We're almost 3 minutes into this game, and they've got 23 points to 0. This is going to be a very, very long game as we see Aerodynamic actually taken down there. Going in for the res, though, from Slin. Nice knockback coming out there from Drake. Slin under so much pressure. We're going to see him probably be taken into the downstate. Has 26 health. There we have him in the downstate. So Aerodynamic not going to get res either.
Doing actually a fantastic job just nuking down the red team right here. It looks like if Slin gets the self-res off, but a Candace sees it, gonna RTL right up to his face, extend that res timer, and there's another 3 members happening.
Wow, we're gonna see a huge wipe.
And Delphine just have amazing synergy right now. They can take this into a triple cap. I can totally see that happening because it's not like they're fully dead. They just now are going down into the downstate. Now they're capping these nodes, and now they can afford to do all these +1s and decaps that they wanted to earlier. We do see Purgatory swapping with the Candace into the DD Ellie 1v1. I really like this decision. I feel like Purgatory should be able to finish this easy peasy, especially if he plays aggressive with the fire transfers, run in and out of the
oh
ring
man,
but we
the
do see
damage from Drake.
It's an overkill, a misrotation from Candace there. Should not have been there on the +1, but too much. He needed to be on far. So
that was a huge spike coming out there from Drake. Props to him, able to get that kill into Cleric's hand. But we do have Edel and Beyond in that 1v1. That really favors that Necro, especially with Arrow coming to plus that fight. So he's just going to force him out of there. That's a good rotation from Beyond to just get out of there. Regroup with your team. You don't need to be there right now. You're back in this game. Tied up. Got a 2 cap. That's exactly what they want. A full regroup coming out from this red team, though. Cleric's Hambo coming off a respawn. They need to make a push from mid right here.
Looks like that Mesmer's going for something cheeky, as Jebro likes to say. Going for the decap, it looks like, expecting the red team to immediately rotate out of that point. This is a play that I would commonly make myself. Looks like they might trade outer nodes here, and if they can just survive on mid, that'll be huge. Purgatory receiving a lot of the damage. Really good combo right there. Spectral armor right into dash route. Axe has like a little bit of vulnerability there. One of my personal favorites coming from Necro, and he's able to survive the burst pretty well. While Beyond is just able to, free damage from wherever he'd like. It looks like his target right now is Larix.
Ooh, Purgatory though. Look at Purgatory getting into the downstate. So much spike damage coming out there from the red team. They're trying to go in for that stop. Time Warp coming out there from Larix.
Seen this before. Time Warp, just get out of there. It's way too risky.
Yeah, I don't think that res is going to happen.
They don't decap. They decap too. No, this is not good.
That is a huge play.
Extending for that res, way too big. Time Warp coming into play, taking so much cleave damage. Humongous misplay there.
Yeah, Larix though, look at Larix. He is super low. He is probably going to be taken into the downstate. Has 500 health left. Gets his stealth off. Ellie gets taken down in the process. 2,000 health. Has his heal up if he needs it. We are going to see the full cap more than likely come out from Beyond over at the quarry. We do have a decap from Slin over at the waterfall. That's a pretty good pickup. Now we have decap nodes throughout the map. But red team really, really doing a great job in that fight, taking that back, trying to get back into this one.
Red team got a
overextending on res, especially in a time warp too. That should be like the #1 sign, like, hey, this might be a bad idea. Slow is kind of a strong condition. Nope, they go for it, and they don't even come close. So it's not like it's that tempting to them. And now they're just gonna be able to get a triple cap. It looks like Beyond forced into like a bad 1v1 here. If he wants to hold the quarry node, looking at Aerodynamic, he should not take it. He knows he'll lose it, so he's just gonna back off and hopefully work his way from home back into the node, try and get some good picks off, and just take it from there. It looks like we're seeing both Mesmers get really low. One of the Mesmers gets really low down on mid. Beyond needs to be careful because Aerodynamics is coming in and might get this res. Beyond, alright, he sees this, and yeah, he should be able to cleave easy, especially if he steal up. But no, stability comes out, not able to interrupt it.
Oh man, that would be huge if he got him up. He does it.
That is huge, yeah. Beyond definitely should have seen that one coming, expecting the Ellie to rotate.
But he's going for that decap over there. Actually, no, he decides to get on top of Larix. Once again, they're going to let them reap the benefits of having a 2 cap and the decap. This is huge for this red team, trying to build a lead right here. Purgatory still super low over at the waterfall, taking a look at what's going on over there. Gets his heal off. Barely, just in the nick of time. Cleric's Hambo all over him. He is taken into the downstate. Good updraft there, trying to mitigate any res coming out there.
Now the cleave wars begin once more. There's poison on the body, which is good. Aerodynamic, yeah, definitely.
Look at the Candace.
Not gonna be able to get the switch. Meanwhile, looking at the 3v3 happening over on the where the blue team just managed to get up a clutch res there. It looks like the Thief is getting really low. Delphine Drake landing some good bursts there. His cooldown's really low. Has a heal up coming up soon. But taking a look at the Necro right now, that seems to be their focus because he's not on stealth. He's the one on point. But no, it looks like they go on the Elementalist instead and manage to knock him out. This is
that was a huge turn of events we just had there.
They won the 3v3 and it looks like they're winning the 2v2.
But look at the midpoint. Larix actually got res there by Aerodynamic and Slin. That's a big pickup once again. Still holding on to that quarry. They're okay with the blue team taking that cap at the waterfall. They're just not going to build held much of a lead with it. Still got about an 80-point lead, but we have a lot of reinforcements coming out from this blue team at the midpoint, while Clerics and Edel are both cleaved out there. I think red team really need to be careful here. They can't afford to lose members and have staggered respawns at this point in time.
No, they cannot. It looks like that's exactly what's happening right now. We see 3 downstate members from the red team, and Beyond can't even go for the decap on Corey right now. No, looks like El is opting to it. Fine choice, leaving the DPS there. Elementalist just as mobile. Seems like there's a little bit of split DPS here. They're going
another
for and the Mesmer at the same time, but which they can't afford to do because they're just so outnumbered right now. Red team just barely managing to get off respawns at this point, and it looks like they're going to be able to take at bare minimum a 2 cap. Possibly a 3 cap.
I feel like we've seen this before. I feel like we saw this 2.5 minutes ago coming out from them.
Seesaw right now. It's going up and down and up and down. It looks like we're seeing a red team group pushed here, group solid play onto the blue team's waterfall. If the Necro has Plague and is able to hold the node, mwah, beautiful. Just go into Plague. Do it. Do it. Go and Plague the node. Do it. You're not doing it. That's
this 3 cap, ooh, the D cap coming out there.
You have no idea how huge that is. He could have held that node 1v3 for 15 seconds and give his team the edge he needs to get back into this game. Instead, just not doing it.
That was crucial, that D cap.
Especially because it can't be mowed.
That was
can't be mowed because they're not running it, so the threat of that is gone. So they're just giving them free points at this point. A mistake in my opinion.
Yeah, Edelweiss under a lot of pressure right now, doesn't have his Connie clear up, and he is going to be taken in downstate in a matter of time. There we have it. Still 4 members of this blue team in this 4v3, excuse me, over here at the waterfall. That means red team actually managed to 2v1 at the quarry, taking that back for themselves. We're still going to see a 2 cap coming out in favor of this blue team, unless we're going to see Slins get on top of Candace. Will that happen? I think he's going to stealth up and get that decap. That's probably a really good play from him, seeing as Ellie's pretty low at the midpoint. They can afford to do that, but Claire Tambo taking out a mid.
They have a portal. If Drake has good reaction time, he can see those swords pop up on the map. He can portal. Boom.
Will it happen though?
Fine, because Mesmers are really strong right now. It's happening. Let's see.
He's not putting it down. He's not putting it down. We're gonna have that decap coming out there. Some Slin, another crucial decap coming out from this red team. I feel like a lot of misplays. I feel like the only reason the red team is in this game right now is just a lot of misplays coming out for blue, despite some good team fights. Is Aerodynamic. Tits taken down in the process. Corey definitely going to go in favor of this blue team, looking to take a 3 cap once again if they do, in fact, plus Waterfall in this fight, seeing they have huge numbers advantage.
Okay, so just to take a breather for a minute and look back at what I just saw in another play I wanted to talk about, when the blue team was outnumbering Waterfall, this was the time where I was talking about, I should have plagued them and whatnot. Ellie was actually outnumbered on Corey and held it for a really long time and actually managed to get out 1v2. So the fact that Ellie didn't die was also really huge for the blue team. And again, it looks like Purgatory's taking a favorable 1v1 right now.
Slin just saved.
To probably get the decap. Looks like he's going to morph into a 2v2 right now. Definitely want to say this is in blue team's favor, especially if they can get a decap right now. But they're still in the lead points-wise. 4 minutes, 28 left in the game. Lord is definitely an option. Blue team is middle for it, but it looks like no team's setting up or focusing on that right now. So what's happening further, Storm?
Yeah, this waterfall fight is huge. If they're able to get this decap, Cleric Sambo can't afford to lose this point for his team. Otherwise, it's just gonna, this blue team definitely gonna, he gets feared off the point. Will it happen? Yes, the decap comes out in favor of this blue team. Cleric Sambo goes into the Vamp runes. He is gonna be taken down in a matter of seconds from these Connies. No, able to get Cleansing Wave off more than likely. He should be okay despite the decap coming out. They did have a decap over at the quarry. They can look over there. Candace in a 2v1. Back at the waterfall though, Slin was taken down. We're back and forth in these fights. Aerodynamic going in for that res with the stab. Not able to get that knockback. Beyond beat. So much cleave coming out from him and Drake. I don't think it's gonna happen. The Aerodynamic taken down from that fight. Things are going on everywhere, but still about a 50-point lead coming up here for this blue team, just holding on to that graveyard node.
Yeah, red team Necro, huge misplay right now. He had a Candace outnumbered 1v2. Should not have left that. Should have just kept it, because now a Candace is just gonna live. He actually liched that too. He did lich, but a Candace, Stoneheart, fantastic choice, really working out for him here. He was able to Stoneheart not only the lich auto attacks while LOSing them, but also the Mesmer's Burst, practically making the damage over half. Like having it. Really good play by him, and keeping the node capped for quite a bit of time. On top of it, not letting them full cap, making sure that, hey, if I'm gonna get off the stone, LOS it, I'm gonna come back on later.
Yeah, I feel like a 100-point lead now. That's just
really
crazy.
Good stuff coming in from them.
What do you think Red can do to get back in this one? I mean, it's almost too late for them. I want to say it's almost too late, especially with Edel going down. Now they don't even have him in this fight. They aren't leaving their base. I think they need to leave their base right now and just go help their teammate out. That's not going to happen.
What they need to do is 4 men push Waterfall so they're close to the blue team's Lord, whilst having their Thief try and decap the other nodes. So they need to get a quick and precise victory at Waterfall Node, cap it, go into the Lord, kill it. That'll make the score gap a lot closer, actually even it if it were to happen right now. Then the Thief, if he somehow gets lucky, enables the decap the Node, evens the game right there. But that's too ideal to happen. The gap is just too large at this point. And it looks like they're doing, like, why do they always do this? You know, the time warp comes out, they go for the reds in these giant team fights. It never works out, it never even looks seemingly close.
Yeah, we are going to see the decap.
Hopefully they learn from this.
Attempt from Slin over at the waterfall. Is he able to get? Oh, FGS coming out there from Ellie, going to barely save the day at that waterfall node. But still, red team cleaning up shop over at the quarry. Still haven't even managed to get Purgatory off the point. Still running for his life. Will he be able to keep it? I'm not so sure. Gets his heal off. They get the full cap. They don't need to have two people over here at the the quarry. There's no reason. They are going to send Cleric Sambo out of that. Has FGS. I just don't see it happening. They don't have the damage to take out multiple members. Purgatory does go down there. Beyond being under a little bit of heat, but I just don't see it happening. I see a game 3 coming.
Arrow actually doing Purgatory a favor and stomping him instead of letting him bleed out. A minor misplay, but irrelevant because I think this game is sealed up already.
Yeah, Lyric's now under a little bit of pressure from Beyond B, trying to go for that decap at the waterfall because they need it so desperately. Will he be able to get it? Going for it, so close, just one tick away. He's going to get some support from Slin, taken into the downstate here. Does go off the point, so there is the decap there, but the midpoint still in favor of this blue team. They have multiple members there able to stay alive. We are going to see game number 2 going in favor of Club of Candace. And that was such a back and forth game. Such a back and forth game. You know, it really, we saw the same thing happen from both these teams like twice in a row, but then blue team seemingly came out with the upper hand there and just kept going with it the whole time.
I feel like blue team had a lot noticeable and bigger misplays, like all those times they went for the crazy time warp presence, but overall more consistent play, whereas the red team were just, I feel like, struggling in those even matchups. Their members were getting spiked down better than they were able to do to the other team, and not as noticeable as these big giant misplays that would cost them the game.
Yeah, so we will be moving on into Kylo once again for you guys in this game number 3. This is so intense because the winner of this goes on to the finals, guaranteeing themselves at least 800 gems a person. And they will be up against the winners of Don't Let Your Dreams Be Dreams, if I'm not mistaken, and Spicy Azurin, 2 very, very good teams we have seen in this tournament before. You know, if you think this is a matchup, the next game is going to be just as close for either of these teams.
Can I ask you a caster thing? Is it annoying to do the spectator on Clock Tower? I feel like it's annoying.
It is the most annoying thing in Guild Wars 2 to be a spectator on Clock Tower. That is correct, yes. That's why I would much rather have everybody play on Temple, because it's a more exciting map, I think, especially for comebacks.
My personal favorite.
And it's my favorite cast. It is such good games on that one. I can't say, you know, for the finals we actually play Temple, if you didn't know. We go Temple to Forest to Legacy. So we have done that for quite some time now, and I'm really looking forward to what we're going to have on that one.
What I really would like to see is a stealth Moa open for the blue team, able to secure that early guaranteed kill from a team that's not expecting Moa right off the bat.
And what are your thoughts in this game number 3? Who do you think is going to take this one? Do you think the momentum for this blue team?
I said it on Forest, I said it on Legacy. I'm with blue team. I'm with them. You're on red team. See who comes out on top.
I'm going with the red team here. I'm going with the red team here. We'll have to see.
Time Warp doing a lot. I feel like Time
Warp's doing
more work than Moa. Have you seen much Moa come out?
I don't think I have seen a single Moa.
But I feel like it's just not consistent.
Yeah.
Candace staying with Stoneheart really saved him that last game. Good choice. Swap out of aura sharing. We do see the blue team's Necro just not joining it. That's all. I see him in the map.
Just waiting on a Candace to join up here. Who? Not a Candace, excuse me. Which of these guys is on the team? Purgatory. Gets his game number 3 underway. Again, guys, I do want to remind you we do have a skin giveaway tonight. So after these games, don't go anywhere. We'll have that after the stream has concluded, as always, every single Monday night. And you must be following the channel. If you're not following the channel, you will not be chosen when it rolled. So definitely do that if you're not already.
So,
Doesn't
yeah,
look like any
looking at-
swaps though from either teams as far
No,
as.
I feel like these are really solid comps here. I feel like the blue team's comp and the red team's comp are my ideal comp I'd like to run in a game.
Yeah,
Necro, Mesmer,
both.
2 Ellies, and a Thief.
So who's gonna be your Mesmer now, or who's gonna be getting the boot soon?
We're not. I don't think we're booting anyone. Storm, don't get too excited.
Oh darn. Oh darn. Just trying to get a little insight here on the stream. Just waiting on a couple of members to ready. I think 1 member for each team to get this game number 3 underway, which I don't think is too much of a rush because game number 1 in the other semifinal just started. I think we were an entire game behind there due
Yeah,
to some
sit
server
back,
issues.
grab
Sit back
some
and
nice
relax,
water.
guys.
Listen to some monster cat.
The feedback I don't think is coming from me. I believe Nos is getting a little bit of it coming back here.
I just
The
need
match
to. It's
starts
going through
soon.
my headset. Sponky.
Yeah. Potato headset. We do have game number 3
Getting
underway
into
here.
one.
I'm actually told I have the potato headset because Skype messes with me and gives me static noises. But taking a look at the opening splits for both these teams, looks very similar to that of last game. With looks like Aerodynamic capping his home point. It looks like Purgatory getting his. So no tread play coming out from either team. Wouldn't be surprised to see crossplay in the stealth. Yes, we are going to see stealth coming out here. Are we going to see crossplay? Yes. 3 members of this red team. We saw this when they played last time on Kylo. They sent 4 members to the mansion.
Okay, so Purgatory needs to plague. He needs quick plague reflex, and it looks like they're going to be able to Moa.
Oh my goodness, no plague. No plague, absolutely annihilated 2,000 health out of this Death Shroud. He is taken down.
For that, it was from stealth. Couldn't really see it coming, but the blue team coming out with the 2-cap. I don't know why the red team had their Ellie there. What's that Ellie gonna do? He's not really participating in the burst, nor is he gonna stay there in a 1v1 or sustain fight. And because of that,
They're gonna come out on top with
cap
that.
on mid.
Yeah, they're going to be coming out on top with that 2-cap in just a second here. At least a little bit of a lead there. Beyond on top of Slyn. Slyn just kind of at this midpoint alone in a 1v3 situation. Red team really need to regroup here, make a push for mid or their home point. Looks like the Ellie coming off a respawn for the red team going to that midpoint. Who's the main target though? Larrick seems to be under a little bit of heat. Edel now under a lot of heat. He has a lot of condies.
For sure. And
Dion.
while that teamfight time looks like Purgatory is going for 1v1 on Mansion, my favorite one, that's my most favorite 1v1 take on a Necro, because there's no stealth or shenanigans like that happening. But what's going on at mid right now?
We have a big fight emerging. No one really being on this point for the red team. They don't need to as long as they can take out somebody for the team, but they're really not getting anywhere with the Aerodynamic getting
They're
pretty
getting
low,
a
so is
decap,
Edel.
as a matter of fact, that Slint sneaks on over there, Portal
Oh, wow.
participating for the blue team and is able to get the decap on Windmill.
That's a really good
And-
rotation from Slyn.
And the red team are actually leaving mid, pulling out the sides, and it looks like Purgatory is going to be getting the counter +1 first. And I think they're going to win that 2v2. Ed getting really low beyond getting some burst damage there, and looks like Canis will come in and further secure that for them, while the 2 other members just hold the mid note, which they can do just fine. And yep, we see Ed enter the downstate. Ellie
This
gets
is a
cleared off on the
3v2
res,
now.
no stability. And yep, that's going to be cleaned up. I think the Ellie should be rotating out right now, leave the Necro to cap, let him reset for a bit.
Popsy FGS has Lightning Flash left if he needs to. They're going to be pushing into the midpoint, but Basty Venom coming out there, actually Panic Strike rather, from Beyond B, going to take down Cleric Sambo as he tried to get away. Lightning Flash not going to be able to save him there. He's going to jump down, try and make Beyond B run a little bit there. We do see the decap at the midpoint though. That was a pretty good decap because
Oh my
otherwise...
God. Look at the Ellie. Look at the Ellie right now. There's a stealth thief. I
Oh,
don't think he
man.
kinda sees this, but he's going for the cleave anyway. Sees that it's getting res right now, making the call team.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
This guy's getting res. And that does manage to happen. That's the problem with bleeding people. You need to be really careful. We see this happen in the high tier play all the time. While this happens, looks like Purgatory will be able to get the decap on Windmill, unless the Ellie has a blink up. And hopefully he's able to reset some HP too. Nope, there it is. Able to RTL right on the node.
Drake is super low right here. Needs to be careful. Has his heal up in just a second, but he's Cleric Sambo all over him. Does land a couple of birds. Oh, he's going to go into the downstate. No, he gets his heal off just in the nick of time. Still, Burn Stack's going to be on top of him. They do manage to get the cap on the midpoint. Holding on to a 2-cap. They're going to get that res as well. Slyn not able to do enough damage by himself. What else do we got going on here? As it looks like Cleric Sambo is taken down.
Him. He did manage to bring Aerodynamic into the downstate, but the Ellie comes in, the Mesmer comes in, +1s it, and does the time warp res. which I think is really good for them, making him use the time warp in a 1v2 scenario like that. So kudos to the blue team's Necro, and it looks like they might just take this 2v2 anyway, because Beyond is coming in, just utterly snipes the Mesmer, who's probably low in cooldowns after that res. Aerodynamic is nowhere really to help with the res, but Purgatory getting really low, has dash out, able to sit in that, good for him. But taking a look elsewhere, we see Delphine Drake going to the downside, and Candace going for the res. Lich comes out, he's still going for the res. Risky stuff, both of us going for the res, the power res happens, they're still able to have this 2-cap. We might see this turn into a 3-cap at this node, because Larry just get fully stomped down.
Oh, we do see Slyn though. Slyn able to get the decap with his mobility at the midpoint. Not going to stay there for long, but still, nonetheless, gets the decap. That's a good pickup. Edel actually taken. And oh man, Shadow Refuge came out there from Slyn, got Edel into it. Should be able to get this res here. Candace knows he's down right here. I don't know, he doesn't. He's going to let him get the res. Doesn't even know he's there. That's a pretty good pickup. Great Shadow Refuge coming out there, but Purgatory taken down pretty low. So is Drake. A great situation for this red team if they want to get back into this one. Not down too much, but definitely, you know, there's no really comeback mechanic in this game, so they have to be careful. Can't give this blue team too much of a lead.
Blue team's Ellie, I might be playing it too safe there. Might have overstayed for Mansion too long, leaving her team into a 4v5. While this out, Beyond getting a good solid team cap. So if they can stall at this point, that's really good. The Necker really low, right next to a Thief, sees it going in anyway. Totally possible.
Oh wow, will it happen? I don't know. I think that was a bad decision.
Pushing all the things he can, doesn't get the fear off. Dazes
Oh.
for a bit, needs it too.
Is it enough? Oh no, Slim!
Downstate Necro, cross your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. He's not in the blasting pattern.
Oh man, Vampir's though.
Drake coming in to make sure that's secured.
Oh wow, that's unfortunate for Slim.
Does manage to cap while it's happening. So the blue team doing fine, have sides nodes and about to get a kill. So we need to see Purgatory immediately res back up. There we go.
Yeah, but red team definitely have the numbers advantage over here at the windmill. They've got a 3v2 situation just because of the fact they had the plus fight over at the mansion. So they should be able to get this decap in just a matter of time as long as Candace does get spiked down there. Oh, so much damage coming off there from Larix. Able to get the kill onto him, trying to take out Beyond, who does stealth up. Going to run away from this. It looks like Cleric's Hambo, or excuse me, Aerodynamic going to be in a 1v2 at the midpoint in just a matter of seconds. No, we are going to see the Mesmer Drake actually not even attack him much. So that's probably a little bit of misplay. I think they had the numbers advantage there. Should have taken advantage of it. We were going to still trap play coming out from Slyn at the midpoint. That's really going to help them with their first 2-cap in quite some time.
Yeah, I feel like they should just go for the sides again. Purgatory should really push far here. I feel like he can be able to win that 1v1 or just get +1 by Beyond real quick because they have the mid node unlocked. They got the guy in trap and they got 3 of their members there.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a nice 2-cap. They need to hold on to this, try and get back into this game. Down about 80 points here. Blue team kind of scattered right here. Not exactly sure what they want to do. They're not even fighting on the point for that matter. We do see Purgatory going for that decap. Aerodynamic, lightning flashing onto that point. Able to get Purgatory off with a nice updraft. That's a pretty good pickup, but
right
still.
Now getting the decap, so it's going to be 2 cap.
Oh, wow.
And the decap.
But Larix was taken out.
Blue team's able to win this mid fight, it looks like, or make some more headway there. Because they're 5v4ing it right now and have someone in the downside. Ellie seeing that it got decap, FGS is there, good mobility, good option. Now they need to be careful, make sure Slyn doesn't come in and res the Mesmer. Mesmer just going to bleed out, doesn't want to risk having his team die to cleave. It looks like Beyond
we're going to see,
a taste
wow.
of his own medicine and gets the decap over on far. Ellie is going to now engage in a 1v1. If she gets the cap, that'll be huge. Nope, manages to blink on point. Now we're going to see a 1v1 happen over on the blue team's home node. And it looks like they're going to be able to
take down Drake at the midpoint. Wow. They're going in for that res though. Candace almost gets it so close. Oh man, Cleric's Hambo dishing out the deeps, but still.
Beyond taking 1v1 on Windmill. Not the best 1v1 for him, but he knows how important for it is on his team right now.
That was a good decap from Edel.
Safe and leave and go +1 to mid node. Fine choice, and Ellie's still 1v1ing on Mansion. So we're seeing a lot of trap play over on the mid node, a lot of action. Cleric's Hambo does go into downstate here.
Slane going in for that res.
Slane from stealth, and he might die too. Misformed.
Oh, so close! He gets the res. That was incredible.
Vampiroons, ladies and gentlemen.
That was incredible. We were going to see the
Drake is in the downstate on the mid node.
What a turn of events. That is huge. This trap play is doing wonders from I believe that is Larix. Doing so much damage. They're going to fully eliminate Drake, allowing them to get back in this game with just that windmill cap. Looking to take out a Candace. Candace gets hit by the tread, not able to dodge that. Will he be taken into the downstate? He does go into the downstate here. Purgatory probably not going to last much longer either. He's going to be trained down by 2 members of this red team. Moving on to the ledge there. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of here alive. Red team storming back into this game. Yes, I did use storm in that part.
I said it earlier. I meant it. They should not have went for that mid fight. They should have played for sides, seeing that they had someone on trap. And it looks like we're gonna see red team emerge with the 2-cap out of this, and blue team just managed to get their
Blue team grabbed the
node back
capture
at this
point.
point while they have some respawns coming. Purgatory though still fighting the good fight over mid, and Beyond's coming in. The mid node is not quite over yet. The story Beyond might be able to spike down, but no, Larix comes in, and that should be fine enough to force Beyond out of there.
Yeah, Sling comes in, does spike down Purgatory. Cleric's Handbow gets pretty low
Beyond
as
dies,
well.
That'll be huge. Misform not enough, but Ascandi's on him.
Yeah, he's taken down. He does port up
Ports
to the top.
roof, though.
Oh, but Larix knows he's there. That's a good, awareness coming out from the red team. They've got 2 members down of this blue team. They really need to take advantage of this right now. They
Did just
have to
port
this
someone?
midpoint.
No, Delphine just doing a defensive port for himself there. Probably could have ported Ellie in there. Ellie blinks to the roof, trying to save Beyond. Really risky. Tries to updraft them off, goes for some burning on there, force them off for a bit, and goes back to the resing. This might
Red
actually
team
work.
got a capture
Down
point.
say thief damage, not useless.
Oh, wow.
And gets him down actually. Good play coming from Ellie. Now we see Larix down in the down state. Completely turned around on them.
I
And
think
looks like they
Larix.
can go for a decap here too if they'd like, if Beyond wants to. After that res, go decap windmill, and we're gonna see a really, really close game happen at this point.
That was a really big misplay coming out from Larix. He had that kill on the Beyond if he wanted to, but he just let him bleed out there and ended up, not really helping him as a whole. Now down about 15 points for this red team. Holding on this 2-cap, but how long will it last with only a 4v5 going on? We do have a decap coming out from Beyond B over at the windmill. Actually, in a 1v1 against Slin is going to be taken down pretty low. He is probably just going to try and get out of this fight because it's not really working for him.
From what happened over the mid node. Delphine Drake, Moa, he missed it again. He tried using on the Ellie's fighting right now, but he missed it. And he manages to get some good solid DPS on him though, so if Beyond can come in and do some stabbing, that'd be good. But when we see Beyond and Ellie taken out over at the mid node, I think this might be it. Especially because it looks like the mansion node, the red team is able to decap it right here and now. Purgatory going for windmill, good.
Clerix has just been running for his
If they're able
life.
to stop the decap on mansion, it'll be fine, but I don't see a Candace doing that. At best, keep it Newt. But Purgatory, on the other hand, no one's stopping it. The red team's still trapping mid. Huge misplay at this point. That Mesmer could have been on windmill by now. Could have stopped this decap.
But we had the
from happening.
decap, regardless, come out from Aerodynamic at the mansion, while we saw the decap come out from Purgatory over at the windmill. There's the full cap, but still, red team taking their first lead of the game just a few seconds ago, for that matter. We are going to see Plus come over at the mansion. Sling going to plus this fight and try and take on. It looks like that's Ellie, who is under a lot of heat. Going to get some help from Beyond B. This is a mirror 2v2.
Good spike onto Slin, forcing the Vampirems early there, and is just hard seeking his heart out. And forcing a lot of cooldowns coming in. Ellie able to maintain herself as best she can, just coming out of water. Although if Slin gets another good solid burst, this could be the end right
man!
now. A Candace killing the red team's Trebuchet?
Oh.
Hello?
A Candace.
That's some interesting maneuvers
A
right there,
Candace. We
I
do
don't
see
know
Slin
about that
taken
one,
down,
but
though,
Beyond
by
does
Beyond.
manage to take out Slin, yeah.
That's huge play right there. Aerodynamics not able to really support him because he's still in that 1v1 with Ellie. I think that's a little bit of a misplay. He can manage to get off that point, give some heals to Slin, or at least peel if he wanted to. So I think that's a misplay, but still a decap coming out over at the windmill from, it looks like, Cleric's Handbow. Purgatory not going to be able to hold on to that. Only the red team holds on to this. We're going to see Larix plus fight over the mansion to help out Aerodynamic. Not going to let them win that 2v1. Beyond all over Larix right here. Doesn't have much left at his disposal. Can throw down Time Warp if he wants to, just for the heck of it. About 80 points away from moving on to the finals here. What do you think blue team needs to do right now to get back into this one? Not down that much.
Time Machine and not kill Trebuchet, that's for sure, because it cost them a decap on Windmill. They could have had that node right now and had everything else decap. So that was a huge misplay for Candace coming in. But thankfully, Ellie and Beyond managed to win that 2v2 that's saving grace. The only thing that's keeping them still in this game right now. And
that
it looks
decap
like
at
they managed
mid.
to decap mid too and get the
Blue
cap
team
on that.
takes a capture
Now, red
point.
team trying to get this cap at the windmill. That could prove to be huge in the end, but we do see it looks like Purgatory going to try and stick
Get
on
that
this,
node,
not let them get that full
Purgatory,
cap.
get on that node,
Oh!
big boy. There you go.
Dodge rolled as the immob came onto him. He's going to get plus by Slin. Will it be enough, though? We do have blue team with that 2 cap moving on to this windmill to force the 2v2. It's going to be 3v2 as Beyond's going to plus this fight with Larix down, Aerodynamic down, Edel down. I think this is where blue makes their huge comeback. Will it be enough, though?
I think this will be enough because there's still people bleeding out on red team. Aerodynamic, Edwillis just went down and Slin into downside himself. And it looks like they have 2 people watching their nodes.
There's the
Not one,
GG
but
being
2,
called
and
too
there's
from
the
Aerodynamic.
GG. I did not see that coming, especially after they got decapped on Windmill. The saving grace for that, winning the 2v2 on Mansion node for sure. Ellie and Beyond, I'm giving them the match credit for that one because they're able to just snowball it
Just
off
like
of that.
Blue team takes a capture point.
Definitely so. So there we do have it. The blue team taking that one 2-1 against What Are We Doing, guys? Quite the impressive victory there. A huge comeback. Man, that I did not expect that to happen. That just kind of came out of nowhere. That wasn't like a huge fight that was won or anything. That was just like people fourth. What are we doing, guys? Dying all over the map.
Wow. And red team's that team you said was undefeated, right?
Well, I believe so. They had played in most tournaments, done really well in them, and taken victories for most of the ones that they had done before. So yeah, but still, you know, looking at who this Club of Candace team has to go up against next, that's not going to prove to be an easy match for them either. Any lost thoughts on that match, though?
I'm just still in shock.
You're still in shock. Well, anything.
I just see Candace killing the trap over in my head.
Yeah, Candace, I'm not so sure about that move to get the trap.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe he saw something I didn't.
All right, well, guys, we're going to go on a short break. Don't go anywhere because we have our finals up next, and of course, our skin giveaway later on after the last match has concluded. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back in just a minute.
I see this storm come rolling in, but you don't know me like you say you do. Will I run and find myself, or will I bite the dust and stay with you? You can help me breathe, but only if I let you. I wanna let you in, but easily forget you. I try to settle down and try to worry less, 'cause when we face the eye, I hold you in my chest. All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold, and I try to make it back in this raging sea, 'cause I'm way too deep, 'cause I'm way too deep.
All right, guys, welcome back. I was just looking into a situation. Sorry about the long, very long wait and the Steam message right there. You guys are gonna have to hang tight just one more minute. We're waiting on the other semifinal to finish and those guys to hop in here. So just hang tight one more minute, and we'll be back in just a few seconds. Just lost my friend so close to me. They say find happiness and faith. What the hell is that supposed to mean to me? And everything is gray, and nothing is in color. Believe me when I say I'm not like any other. Try to settle down and try to get some rest. You lay with open eyes, head against my chest. All my life I've been so cold. I break the hourglass and watch time unfold, and I try to make it back in this raging sea, 'cause I'm way too deep. right, everybody, we are back for the final matchup of this evening. Sorry about that long wait there. Is going to be Club of Candace up against what is their team name? Don't Let Dreams Be Dreams. Don't Let Your Dreams Be Dreams. A team that has always confused me with their name. Always gotten
Can
it.
we take a moment to admire Red Team swagger right here? They're all repping their unique scarf colors.
Oh, we don't see him right now. We will in a second here. I just want to point out, guys, don't go anywhere after this game, because remember, we do have a gem giveaway. But of course, for the finals, as per every week, we have Temple of the Silent Storm over to Forest and finishing on Legacy of the Fofire. But not to waste any more time, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. We've got Don't Let Your Dreams Be Dreams over here on the red. They are all dancing and repping some different colors of scarves, except for that a little Asuran, Lovely Shatter, not doing anything with scarf. So take a look at builds. Go ahead and take us away with this red team. Nuts.
Alright, first we're going to be looking at the Ellie. You've seen this in every match so far. Nothing too special at all. Holbrook, Selly, Dagger, Fire, Arcane, Water. You're used to it. Next up, interesting, first time seeing a Ranger this time around, so I'm a bit unfamiliar with Ranger, but this looks like we're going to be seeing the classic Barebow. Marauders, Traveler. I think Traveler is a fine choice considering this build doesn't have too much swiftness besides the swiftness coming out from Longbow 3, which isn't really much to go off of anyways, and running Nature Magic, Wilderness Survival, Beast Mastery, so fairly, I'm going to go with offensive on this. Next up, we're going to be seeing Kenya running the Me build, aka the Nos build, aka Selly Signets, as I officially call it. And he's going to be taking Soul Reaping, Curses, Spite, of course, the Celestial Amulet, and Strength runes. Next up, we're going to be seeing Suicune, the other Dagger element that's running the same stuff as before, everything up to the runes, though no Earth shenanigans coming on this one, instead opting for the Fire. Last but certainly not least is the Mesmers. And yep, this guy looks like he's be running classic mantra build, domination, dueling, inspiration.
Yeah, nothing too crazy going on with his build. Taking a look at Club of Candace really quick. We've seen them twice already today. We've got Drake running Staff, Greatsword, Vamp Runes, Marauder, Amulet, going to be running Domination, Dueling, and Chaos. Ellie sticking to DD. Ellie, for that matter, running his whole Vectorins. Nothing too crazy.
This is kind of weird, just the backtrack on the Mesmer. On the Inspiration Grandmaster tree, he's going for a buff to his Glamours, which he only has
Inspiration. He's running Chaos. Which one are you talking about here?
I'm talking about Lovely Shatter on the red.
Oh, Lovely Shatter. Oh, okay, going all the way back there.
Yeah.
Backtracking quite a bit there.
Normally you see Phantasmal Defender come into play because it's more consistent, or at the bare least Illusionary Inspiration, but I've never quite seen someone run Temporal Enchanter. It's going to make Time Warp really strong, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be lasting 12 seconds, so it's going to be quite the time warp. We'll have to see if he's able to make good use of it like we saw in the Mesmer in the last game. But continuing on the builds here, Beyond going to be playing DP once again with Vamp Runes, sticking to Shadow Arts as well. Purgatory, nothing too special, running the same thing, if I'm not mistaken, as before. Not going to spend too much time with it. And Candace still, no, Candace is running Dagger Focus with Strength Runes, running Fire as well as Arcane and Water, so we'll have to see if he actually sticks to that focus there. Probably running that because of Hero. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. As we wait for these guys to ready up, we haven't seen this red team tonight. What are your thoughts on them? Do you think they're going to be able to take on this team, this blue team that seemed to be surging through this tournament?
I mean, they definitely could. If you haven't seen these guys much, I definitely haven't seen them apart from some solo queue here and there. I've seen their Ranger quite a bit, and that's the only name I'm really recognizing here.
I mean, I know these guys. They've played in AG for a long time, at least. Maybe not all on the same team, but they have definitely played in AGs dating back to probably December. At least a few of them, for that matter. So definitely familiar. Fashion. Yeah, definitely got good fashion. So they'll at least win the fashion game here, but.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I want to say these guys can definitely put up a fight. Things I'm not so keen on is not Hero himself, but Hero just on Ranger. Just Ranger itself isn't really the most optimal thing to run, but that's what Hero really likes to play, so that's what he's going to be on. Kenya, pretty good at the Necromancer. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to make some plays along with Lovely Shadow, who's going to be the main source of damage with Hero. But Hero, like I said, that focus coming out from a Candace kind of going to mitigate a decent amount of the damage. I wouldn't be surprised if he's that main target coming out for Beyond and Drake.
I do want to ask you something. So what's the map rotation looking like? This is the first time I'm seeing Temple. Why am I seeing Temple?
You're seeing Temple because every finals that we've ever had since the Tournament of Legends #3 was announced, we do Temple, then to Forest, then to Legacy. So it adds Temple in it. I think a lot of people like that aspect of the AG tournament. It kind of brings something new that other tournaments don't really have.
All right, looks like game starting in 5, 4,
The
3,
countdown.
2, and 1. Open up that map.
Take a look at the splits for both these teams. You've got Kenya capping his point. Perk, both Necros actually going for that home point. We are going to see a little bit of crossplay coming out from, it looks like, Sassoon here. Is that his name? I don't even know if that's how you say his name. We're just going to call him the Elementalist for this team. He's going to go pop that FGS, going to that altar node, trying to make sure they don't get that full cap. Is there in time, and we do see some crossplay, late crossplay coming out from Beyond.
Red team wins.
All right, I think I should be on the Mesmer, Delphine, and Beyond right now because he's landing good burst onto Kenya. Kenya popping a really good defensive play. And Drake not running Moa this time. I can't blame him because he wasn't having too much success with it last time. So going for time warp, something more consistent. Looks like they're doing some decent damage, and they just need to make sure they don't get counter spiked by the red team Mesmer. So what else is going on?
Yeah, we got this 2v2 going on. Taking a look at the gate, though, it looks like we've got a little bit of a nice 2v2 going on. Talgo actually doing a great job. Talgo is hero, for those of you that don't know. Candace really not able to do a whole lot against his longbow pressure, trying to stay alive. We still have the only cap at that temple node going in favor of this red team. Oh, there's the portal coming out as Kenya barely is able to get out of there from that Mesmer, portaling him back to there, able to make sure he stays alive. We're going to see 2 more members of this red team plus to fight at the gate, while the blue team will take the cap at the temple.
Yeah, but it looks like it's getting really down to the wire over on the altar node. Purgatory getting really low, not having too much success with this 1v1. Force the turtle into Death Shroud, but if he can just hold the nude and hopefully Beyond come +1, if they can totally pull outside. But it looks like the major actions just sticking over mid. Delphine Drake landing a beautiful shatter onto lovely shatter, bringing him into the downstate. And it looks like the red team's gonna try and res, and blue team no follow-up on that, surprisingly. Beyond trying to get close, but the weird downstate port really got to him. He's just going to go down again. Beyond finally making his mark, and looks like not gonna be able to res him this time, so you're gonna go opt on the res on
the
Kenya
instant res on the Kenya. That was a pretty good play coming out there. They're still trying to stay alive at the gate despite not having the numbers advantage. Purgatory is taken down in the 1v1 though from Sassoon.
Get a stealth res.
I don't know. Will it happen?
Gets rid of the stability.
Going in for that stop, trying to get to. No, he gets in a run.
He's getting rid of. Oh, Beyond.
Oh, why did he
Good
do
job
that?
there.
I believe it's Sweet Coon, as I'm being told right now, trying to stay alive, do the fight here, as Beyond not really able to make sure his teammate gets back up here. This is a great job from this Elementalist.
This is really sloppy. Had that Necro just won the 1v1, the blue team would have been in a fantastic position right now. But now it's looking into a place where this guy can 1v2 potentially.
Oh my goodness.
Really
They've just 1v2'd.
I'm like
Sweet Coon.
palming right now.
Oh
Necros
man.
Shamed across
doing
the board.
work over here. And look, over at the temple too, Drake is taken out. Like, Candace is going to be taken out. We're going to see 4 members of this blue team dying here. Oh my goodness, the 1v2 coming out for Sweet Coon, MVP of the first 3 minutes here, allowing his team to get a 2 cap. We are going to see the rest of this blue team funnel into the mid. Ellie getting super low, does get taken out. Probably going to be taken out there it goes, by Kenya. We do see Purgatory coming into the fight, but they are all over the map right here. Really, really great start for this red team with the 2 cap.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to get the triple cap 2 out of this. And then if they can combo that with the top buff coming in too.
Oh,
but
but
Drake
look
going
at Drake.
For time warp res, but gets CC'd off by the Ranger. It looks like it's just going to be a waste of time warp, but he's still going for it. And yeah, the
I don't know, there's so much damage coming out here from Tiro. Hero doing a great job of sticking on top of Drake. Drake really can't take a whole lot of that. We do have Stillness buff up right now. I don't think anyone is actually there to get it. We're going to see Sweet Coon go for it. Nobody for the blue team. What are they doing right here? Beyond is going to let him get it. A 4 cap coming out here for this red team. Definitely not what we expected.
It'll be a 6 cap too, because Ellie just gets stomped down in mid. Delphine Drake's gonna go on respawn. They're gonna have mid any time now, and the far node, or the far node for the blue team, isn't looking too promising because they're about to be outnumbered, nor do they have a decap or a way out unless Beyond gets a good shadow refuge. So unless they somehow manage to win this 2v3, blue team's already out of the water in my opinion. Losing that 1v2 was huge, just snowballs from there.
This is huge.
I feel like that's favored for the Necro too.
Purgatory trying to stay alive here in this 1v1 Stolen Eternity. They do manage to get the gate, lose the altar in the process. So that's not a bad trade. Purgatory getting so low. He did get plussed by Lovely Shatter here. They're going to try and take him into the downstate. Things looking really good for this blue team, or red team, excuse me. Starting to build up to a 200-point lead. I did not expect this coming out of the gate.
Wow. Just goes to show you how important 1v1s can be. Beyond trying to get a good decap over on the mid node, tries to figure him off, but not quite working. He's gonna have to bail out of there because that Necro should be able to easily fend him off. Beyond rotating out, maybe going for a cheeky decap onto Temple node, but no, Suicune getting the decap, and Ellie going for the 1v1 this time, hopefully to avenge.
I don't know, Ellie actually looking to... They're already calling a GG. I'm asking for a confirmation for the GG. I'm getting told, okay, so they are calling the GG. There we have it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Absolutely wrecking house on Temple of the Silent Storm. Did you expect that?
Not in the slightest.
There
they won
it is.
The opener minus the 1v1, and it just snowballed into a 1v2.
I have to
and
give it to
Suicune. They couldn't
Suicune.
recover.
Oh man, Suicune. MVP right there.
Suicune.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's Trig.
Also playing poorly.
That is Trig. I didn't even know that was Trig. Trig, going into God mode right there.
Can I I just want to get in there and 1v1 it myself now. Like, shame.
Oh my goodness. So 1-0 lead for Don't Let Your Dreams Be Dreams. Coming in there, forcing the early GG for Club of Candace. Man. Something else. I didn't know that was Trig, but Trig doing work. I'm calling him Trig from now on, a little bit easier than Suicune.
I'm calling him Suicune. That's easy to say. I don't know.
Well, everybody's got to know it's Trig. Best Ellie NA right now. Maybe not, but proving himself in that 1v2 there. Proving himself in that 1v2 regardless.
And if it was a 1v2 versus Poker and Nas, sure. Best Ellie world.
Alright, just waiting on these guys to go ahead and ready up. Get this game number 2 underway on the Forest of Niflhel. What are your thoughts on this match? Obviously, I don't think we're going to see the same mistakes come out for the blue team.
The red team definitely won't be able to snowball it as fast, being able to combo the top up into a 4-cap. That's for sure. I feel like they're just going to be really careful with the 1v1s now. I feel like Beyond might just stay back and get an earlier +1 on things. But that's going to cost them in the long run, having such a handicap. But I think more than likely what's going to wind up happening, we're going to be seeing a 1-1-3 split. We're going to be seeing the Mesmer Thief Ellie push into far. I'm talking about the blue team, of course. They're going to have one Ellie on mid and one Ellie on one Necro on mid. Necro should, in theory, win the 1v1 on home. They should be able to burst the guy at far, and then the Ellie should live long enough on mid, and voila, you have a 2-cap. But that's just me.
We'll have to see if that very elaborate strategy does, in fact, happen. But we are just waiting on a couple members of this blue team to ready up. You think we're going to see this blue team take this game number 2 and not make the same mistakes, or what do you think for this one?
I don't know. I feel like they did really fine in the team fights, but just the 1v2 threw them off so much, and then everything else just got snowballed upon. They couldn't recover.
We'll have to see. My prediction, I think we're going to see this red team take this game number 2. I think despite, just having a great opening overall, I think they're just, what they threw at them was just a little too much. And that 4-cap obviously helped with that top buff of the stillness. I think that really paved the way for them to take the victory. But regardless, they were winning fights straight up.
We'll have to see what the blue team chooses to do here. Definitely not doing what I said. Definitely going for a lot more safer split, going for more of the team fights, I guess.
Looking at the opening splits, neither team going to be crossing through the beach. Both playing it very, very safe, knowing a lot's on the line here. Well, a decent amount's on the line here in terms of gems. It's 1,200 gem difference per player. That's nothing to mess around with, if you ask me.
Team killing boss? Nope, just saying hi real quick. Going for the back keep advantage. A good spot to have your Power Ranger over on. So we're going to be seeing a very safe opener. 1-4 classic when the game first came out, kind of split. Get the home nodes. go get
Just
mid.
like that. Blue
Yep,
team
taking a look
takes
at what
capture
we've got
point.
at the midpoint here. It looks like a lot of damage going on to Talgo. Talgo under a little bit of heat from Ellie. Forced to drop down. Candace going to stick on it. He's dropping down to the lower level. Now Beyond B's on top of him. We got Trig making his way to help him out here. They're trying to get on top of Beyond. Still, whole 5v5 going on at the midpoint.
Drake actually 98 HP here, getting really low and gets dropped. See if they're going to be able. Nope, don't do it. Don't go for this res.
Oh
Enemy
my
time
goodness.
warp. Don't team up.
Oh, the
Just try and rotate
damage.
into sides at this point. Make sure you hold your home. Maybe Beyond can be quicker than their Ellie and get a decap over on the mine node. Kenya, although, is getting pretty low over on mid, but has some dash out, has some cooldowns. So I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I think the blue
Should be
team's
okay.
really struggling there.
Yeah, oh, the
Yeah.
burst onto a Candace, taking him down about 10% health. The fear's coming out there from it. Looked like that was Kenya. Able to get his cleansing wave off. Still looking all right. Good updraft coming out there from the Elementalist on the side of the red team. Able to take out Beyond and a Candace at the same time. Now look at Purgatory. He's in a very, very rough spot. Has his heal up. But I don't think that's going to be enough. He's being trained down by Eternity. I think we're going to see a 2-cap in a matter of time coming out for this red team. As long as Kenya doesn't die.
I think we might even see that 3-cap too, because it's Drake versus an Ellie, and Ellie should be able to get a decap at least, but Drake landing a really nice burst onto Suicune. And yeah, not definitely pushing him away at that
Oh
point.
man,
But
another
four blue
wipe.
team members down, and Candace just barely respawning, gonna go for the far node at this point. Drake definitely needs to be a hero over on the blue team zone node. Kenya going for the decap, he needs to get on it, he needs to.
We're going to see,
Do
it
it
looks
for the
like we're going to
team.
see more reinforcements coming out for the red team over here at the Henge, but Kenya is still really low. Didn't fully recover, I don't think. Going to get some support from, I believe that's Trig, and Lovely Shatter throws down the portal, able to get through the portal back to the midpoint. A really, really nice portal coming out for the side of the red.
Yeah, so what's gonna happen probably is that they're gonna send some members over to deal with the Candace, but what I think blue team will be able to do in return is just nuke the midpoint, because especially if they over-rotate a 1v3 into a Candace, and he lives for a long time. So here comes the big burst into the mid node. Eyes
Yeah.
on the red, blue team's Mesmer for sure.
Beyond is
Still has
actually
time
moving
warp
over
up.
to the mine. He's going to make that a
Yes, he knows.
2v2.
So they're going for even splits here. Okay. I think because the Candace got the decap, they felt more comfortable going for that kind of play.
You know, Kenya's getting really low at the midpoint, no, Death Shroud wise. You know, they didn't really capitalize on that 4-man wipe I think they had for, on the side of the red team favoring them. They didn't really capitalize, didn't get a huge lead with it. Got something, but that decap from a Candace over at the mine point really, really helping them. There's the full cap, a Candace in that 2v1 forced out of there. Kenya in that plague form, Beyond B sticking on top of him. Will it be enough for his team? Blue team has the health pools at this mid fight to take it.
Yep, blue team managing to get the decap too, because I feel like Kenny should just stay on node if you're plagued, no really reason to be off it, especially since there's not much LOS to deal with. And it looks like Stolen Eternity's getting really low. The Mentalist Water just got off cooldown, has
Lightning Flash.
up, but if he can manage to get up top there and be fine. Nope, gonna go for the node instead, and just looks like it's die on point. And let's see if he time warps. Delphine Drake, this prime time warp opportunity. Prime, how many times am I gonna say prime? Delphine.
There
you
he
go,
throws
buddy.
it
And
down.
this will be a huge advantage for the blue team in this.
And
fight
look at
scenario.
Kenya absolutely
Quickness everywhere,
obliterated.
yes.
Hero taken down 2. We're going to see a 3-man wipe at this mid node. We did have the decap once again from Candace at the mine. That's really going to hurt. Allow this blue team with the 2-cap to get back into this one. Lovely Shatter actually gets out of here alive. He's got Drake right behind. No, that is not Drake. That's
a
clone
clone.
of Drake. So I thought that was for a second, but no, that was not him.
But
Lovely
Drake
Shatter.
knows where he's going, I feel like, because we see him rotate onto
Yep.
the Henge node. So we're going to be seeing a Mesmer 1v1. Also important to note is that their Mesmer, I think, has a portal on mid. I'm not sure, I can't tell. One of the Mesmers.
Yeah, one of them, both of them. There's 2 portals at the midpoint, so both of them
Really
have it at the. It
interesting.
depends
So
which one is on the point, because there's one right next to the point and one at the steps right now. So,
Right.
but still, we have an elemental sitting at that midpoint. The blue team taking the 2-cap, looking to take a 3-cap, as we're gonna have Beyond B plussing the fight over here at the Henge.
I feel like if Ellie stays mid, this might be bad if they don't rotate into her. So it looks like Kenny's going to go for that 1v1. If Ellie's able to hold that off, perfect. We're seeing a 2v3 happen over on the mine node. Selly's, so they should be able to hold it for a decent amount of time. And it looks like they're able to get the cap back onto the Henge node. And
Lovely Shatter running for his life. Uses portal, took back 2 of the members. He's more than likely going to get taken down. No, he has his heal up, able to use that mantra, trying to stay alive. None left. Gets an interrupt onto Beyond. Oh, he gets spiked down there by Beyond. That is an unfortunate turn of events. Kenya is pretty low at the midpoint as well, up against 1v1 against Ellie. But there are definitely reinforcements in the area for this blue team, trying to take it for their own, have about a 50-point lead.
they need to be really careful with bleeding out that body, because the red team just managed to wipe their home node, so it is possible. Nope, just manages to go down. So we're going to be seeing Hero go for the henge node. If Candace sees this, that's fantastic, because he's not going to be able to 1v1 a node. He's Legolas, he's from afar, he can't really be up close with an Ellie on node. Meanwhile, we see Kenya being taken down from the mid. That was who Ellie was a 1v1, he then got +1 later. So it looks like blue team's going to rotate into a nice 2-cap here, and they're really just watching the red team.
Talgo's in a really bad spot right here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his positioning at all. But he does have all of his cooldowns up for the most part. Sells for a little bit, and he looks like he'll be fine. So yeah, it looks like the red team's move right now. They're the ones who need to get another cap off this, and we see Kenya going for the henge node off of respawn. And if blue team doesn't pay attention to that Necro that they
we do see the Mesmer, lovely shadow moving there as well.
Faces, yeah.
But he kind of gave it away moving over there. He's going to let his Kenya get that decap. Should be able to get that. I think they should really bail off.
Blue team needs to
the
bail
midpoint.
out of it for
Oh,
sure.
Drake absolutely obliterated by lovely shatter below the keep, though. That's a really good pickup for them.
Yeah. If that didn't happen, I feel like Beyond could have gotten a decap on mine while that happened, but now he really needs to stay mid and help out his team sustain there.
Yeah, Purgatory's pretty
scenario,
low.
His team loses mid, he's able to get a decap on far. Purgatory not having his plague up, trying to live best he can. They still have the node, which is good, and Acanis is 1v1ing Kenya over on the home node for the blue team. So we're going to see Delphine Drake respawn, +1 that, and then they should have sides at this point.
Well, Beyond able to get that decap right up,
yep. Decap and run, decap
but the
and run.
midpoint going to be going in favor of this red team. We saw Talgo able to dish out a lot of damage onto the blue team, really doing work there. He's actually looked to make a move to that mine point, going to allow his Elementalist to 1v1. I think that's a favorable matchup for the Ellie. Kenya still really low over at the henge. He was in a 1v2, going to get some help from Hero, but I don't think that's going to be enough. He's more than likely going to be taken down
the
here.
node, buddy.
Oh, Candace going to follow Kenya.
That might be intentional. I don't know, because there is someone really low and just wants to help.
Able to get that res.
Turns
Wow.
out it doesn't even matter. He needs to go get that node. Come on, Kenya. Come on. So we're going to be seeing a 1v1 happen over on the mine node. I still think this is kind of close to a 50-50, but yeah, go on. Beyond getting a decap, you say?
Yeah, Beyond, they went right behind him coming out from that mine point, able to get that decap. It's really good, not allowing red team to get back into this one. Still, blue team seemingly has the advantage. Kenya has been low for like the past minute, taking it in downstate. Finally, we do see Lovely Shadow coming in with that Time Warp res, able to get that. That was a really, really clutch play. They can't afford to lose somebody at this point in the game. Otherwise, that lead is going to go heavily in favor of the blue team here.
I really like the blue team's position here. I like how the Necro's 1v1ing on mine. I feel like he should be able to clean that up quick enough if he plays his cards right, and I like the 4v4 over on mid, especially after how the red team just wasted their Time Warp on a res there. And the Necro's Plague is on cooldown. And taking a look at Drake, he still has his Time Warp. So if they can land another solid team wipe like they did before,
Eternity,
I feel like
though,
this game is in their bag.
Is losing a 1v1. He just lost a 1v1 to Purgatory over at the mine point. Purgatory coming out on top big time. He's going to get plussed by Lovely Shatter, but because of that, that means they're losing multiple members at the midpoint in terms of numbers-wise. We do have Trey getting pretty low here. We did see the Time Warp come out there from Drake, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that was his Time Warp. The Stomp coming out there onto Kenya. They still have one tick left on the node, but is it going to be enough? We do see Trey going to the downstate. Oh, man, this is a huge wipe coming out for the red team.
That was really awkward for the red team over on the mine node. So what happened there is he tried to portal the Mesmer. The Mesmer tried to portal the Ellie out in the downstate misform. But the Mesmer kind of got stuck on some awkward debris that's laid around the mine node. And as a result, Berg was able to get the safe stomp with the Plague Form, and now he's trying to just sustain against a Mesmer since he's too low to actually fight him. And Beyond coming in for the +1.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get that +1. Hero coming in as well. This is a lot of damage onto Shatter, who is taken down there. Good backstab coming out there from Beyond V. Trey coming into this fight, but ultimately this 2-cap really going to start to give them a huge lead here. Hero, oh man, that fire grab coming out there from the Elementalist on the side of the blue, really taking Hero down there. Going to be able to get that easy stomp and start to clean up shop here at mine.
Yeah, looks like we're seeing 2 downs for the red team. And on the other nodes, we're just seeing 1v1s happen on cap nodes, not much progress there, and Delphine Drake able to win his 1v1, and Ellie able to sustain against her 1v1, doing fine there. We do see Suicune coming in, but right behind her is two blue team. So I think this is game right here and now.
Yeah, about 80 points away from victory for this blue team, holding on to a 3-cap. A big difference from the last game. I mean, we saw in the last game that it didn't even end. We had a GG called when they hit about 250 points. And it was what? It was about 250, like 20 points, maybe 50 points. I can't exactly remember, but it was just total domination on the side of the red team. This is complete turn of events.
Yeah, again, I just feel like the blue team was in a really, really hard spot to recover from. Especially after the red team got the virtual 4 camp and they were just flying through the points. So at that point, I think the blue team just said, okay, we understand that if we just keep playing, we'll probably guaranteed a loss and further frustration. So let's just calm ourselves a little bit and get ready for the next one because we know we can win.
And there we have it. Club of Candace taking game number 2. Moving on into our game number 3 in our final match of this evening. This is a lot closer than I anticipated. I wouldn't be surprised to see in the next game, go to something like a Lord Rush. Those are always fun ones.
There are no traps for Candace to kill, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, you can't do that, so that's good for his team. But we'll have to see if he wastes some time on gates or not, because those can be a pain as well.
Oof.
So we'll have to see about that as we wait for these guys.
How's he feeling on them gates today?
Hey, Earth auto attack into gates, and it does quite a bit of damage. So
Does it now on Ellie?
yes, it does. No,
Why
it's
is
a total
that?
joke.
Oh. I thought you were being serious for a
No,
second.
it's terrible damage.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm not seeing many swap ups here. I think Beyond Stories to go DP, definitely a solid one. Necros staying with what they're used to. Hero still with the Marauders. Traveler, I'm not seeing anything too special here. Drake actually swapping out Time Warp for Moa. Maybe they'll
I'm
go
not
for a
so
nice
keen
Moa
on that
burst.
because Moa didn't really do anything in any single game we've seen Drake in. We haven't really seen a
He's
great
just
Moa.
not
That's not a
landing
lot.
them, man. He's just not.
Yeah, he's not. Time Warp really actually did good wonders for him that game. They really let them win fights. So I really don't like that swap on the side of Drake.
I feel like it has a higher, much higher risk than Time Warp, but a lot higher reward. The thing with Time Warp is, in order for it to be like really valuable, something already needs to happen and initiate. There needs to be someone in the downstate, whether it's their team or the enemy's team. Whereas Moa is the process that leads to people going into the downstate, which is the more important process that you need to happen.
Doesn't look like we've got any changes on the side of this red team either. So
No, it's 1-1. They have
Keeping it
both
as-
took a game off one another, and they both feel like they can do it again, running the same exact stuff.
definitely. So again, guys, a reminder: don't go anywhere after this game because we do have not a gem giveaway. It's always a gem giveaway, but I keep saying it is. It's a skin giveaway today. I still haven't picked out the skin. What skin should we go for today, Nas? Any ideas?
I mean, what's your budget looking like?
Uh,
I mean, chainsaw skin maybe. Just pop a Grouch
if you
can
were
treat you
donating,
well.
if you were donating that, I mean, because we know you're loaded here. So, ultimate, I'm not sure yet. We'll think.
Are we
I'll
looking
think
at
about
one
it
of
here.
those 100 gold ones?
Probably
maybe?
so.
Okay.
I'm not
But that
loaded,
is-
guys. So,
That is, of course, a decision we'll have to make soon. But for now, looks like both teams have been given the sign to ready up. Red team is ready to go, but blue team, again, as I can picture him taking his hand and stroking across his beard as he plans his strategy. What I can see happening is a Moa opener, and I feel like that's why they want to take Moa. Get a solid lead off of that.
maybe I'll just give 100 gold. Let them
Maybe.
buy what they want to.
It's kind of like the gift card option on some of you
Yeah.
don't know what you got.
Alright, just waiting on a few members of this blue team to ready up. This has been quite the night of the cast. We've had so many games behind. It's taken quite some time tonight. It's probably the longest one in quite some time, but definitely some good matches to stay awake for.
Yes. Me awake for sure.
Looks like Beyond, Purgatory, and a Candace holding us back here. I have to ask it though. I have to ask. Who do you
Ask
think's
away.
going to take game number 3?
I've been saying it before they even met this team. I'm gonna go with blue team.
Think they're going to take the whole
I
tournament.
feel like Temple was just like an outlier for them. Like really something really unfortunate that you see once every like 100 games happen in 1v2. That's huge to happen.
That's true, and then a lot of these teams, a lot of these players, I mean, everyone plays Temple, but to play on Temple as a team, that's not something that's very common, because you don't have it in ESL tournaments, you don't have it in a lot of tournaments. I think the last big tournament that that Temple was played on was the WTS qualifier.
About right. Definitely not in the go for us.
Just waiting on Beyond to come back into this game. I think he left us for a little bit. Anyhow, you know, these guys definitely earned their way here, this red team. I don't think they made it to the finals in the last couple of weeks. I think, you know, beating Spicy Azurin. Spicy Azurin, they made it to the finals a couple of weeks ago and got second place and lost to What Are We Doing Guys, who lost to this Club of Candace. Ultimately, it's kind of back and forth battle, but definitely a really, really solid team on this red side. Definitely would like to see them give it a shot in the ESL someday, along with some of these other teams. But you know, it's kind of that's a big step. It's a big step from facing these teams to facing QT and
For sure.
Radioactive. All right, we do have
Waiting
people back.
Candace and Purgatory at this point to ready up and then be on our way. 1-1 right now. Grand finals. Winner takes all at this point. Loser goes home with 800 gems each. Winner, of course, with 2,000. And the feeling of it being worth it all staying up this late.
The match starts
All
soon.
right, we have game number 3 underway for our final. Nos is giving us feedback a little bit. There we go.
Okay, I'll fix it.
We'll
Okay.
fix that feedback there. All right, game number 3, our final game of the night, guys.
Hold on
What
to
have we
your
got here? It
points.
looks like we've
Seize
got
theirs.
2 members of this red team going to the home point. Gonna play it kind of safe while there's a little bit of a 4-man push coming out for the blue team at the midpoint. And it looks like, oh, they're just gonna go for the 1-0-4. Sending 4 people over to the quarry. Gonna try and spike down this red team who went for a 2-1-2 split.
Not quite.
Oh, it looks like
just
they did
backed for
peel
that
off.
belt,
All
and
right.
It looks like they might want to mow a oh no, he's running time warp. JK.
Oh, he did go back to time warp. All right. Well, that's definitely gonna help them in the long run, if you ask me.
Did you see that?
Oof.
Red team got a
Purgatory
capture
not
point.
managing to get in Quarry in time, and they get the cap as a result. So we're seeing a 2v2 happen on Quarry, a 2v2 happen on mid, and a
And a
1v1
1v1
versus the Ellies.
Oh, that's
Waterfall. Which one are we looking at?
I'm looking at the quarry right here. Looks like Canyon's kind of getting low. They're trying to get on top of him. Doesn't have a whole lot left, if I'm not mistaken. That's Plague Up, but really not going to help him at this point in time with only about 3,000 health. He's going to get taken down.
Nope,
Beyond
still
B
on
takes him
cooldown.
into the downstate. Talgo going in for the res. Will it be enough,
Gets
though?
feared off and slow Condi on him. Although he's running the pet res, right?
Oh,
How else
man,
can
he
you res
is.
that fast?
And he does Plague instantly with about 17,000 health. Meanwhile, on the other points, let's take a look. Drake was actually getting super low here. 177 health, actually taken out by Shatter. Lovely Shatter, that is.
Gets
Candace going to be able to
right
get that
back
rest,
up,
though. Yep. Able to get a few ticks in their favor at the mid node, regardless.
But I don't think that'll matter much. Back over at the quarry node, it's getting really close to end game at this point, and I think blue team's going to be the one taking it. However, still in Eternity,
Beyond!
seeing that this is
Beyond
the case,
taken down!
for the +1.
Plague Res coming out there. Talgo's not going to be able to do anything.
The Necro rallying Beyond, beautiful Plague Stomp. Kudos to Purgatory, and Beyond just barely managing to get out.
Eternity
And I
going to
think
plus this fight, though. Going to be able to
I
help
think
him
at
out.
this point, yep, blue team managing to get mid, and I think Delphine should go +1
Just
to home
like
node.
that,
Waterfall just
blue
go right
team
on
takes
over
a
there, and
capture
then you can
point.
portal whomever back into mid with that beautiful portal he has laid out over there. But it looks like he's going to go far instead. Definitely a more aggressive strat, but we'll see how it works out for them. If they get a decap, I think it'll be really worth it. But the Necro off respawn is gonna go decap mid.
Oh,
so you
lovely
need quick
Shatter.
Portal reflex.
Lovely
And
Shatter.
there it
Oh,
is.
there's the portal. Able
For
to
the
get
red
that
team.
decap.
That was the red
Wow.
team portal. Wow.
That was a
Drake's portal.
really clutch portal coming out there from Lovely Shatter, who got spiked down, able to probably get reset here. Going to plus the fight for Trig, trying to get on top of Ellie. We'll have to see who's going to be taking that, but the decap nonetheless did come out at the quarry. A very, very small lead coming out at the start of this game for this red team. No one seemingly have the upper hand big time, but I feel like once we see a team wipe, once that happens, we're going to see one of these teams just surge ahead. And Ellie taken out over at the waterfall in that 2v1 situation. Red team able to claim that for their own.
Yeah, not much they can do there with a Mesmer +1 after a long fought, like 3-minute long duel versus an Ellie. And Cannon's gonna be taken down over mid, so it looks like they might be able
Red
to get
team
mid.
wins a capture point.
Oh,
Blue
but
team
Purgatory-
and
Purgatory
Purgatory's in a
getting super
1v2
low.
situation, trying to kite his heart out while keeping the node nude at this point. He'll definitely be going down soon. Beyond trying to get in there. He might get a save too. He's running Shadow Arts, which is pretty good for saves. Signaling a Locust, he gets interrupted, so no heals coming in from there. Maybe he can cast it again, get something decent. No, but the Mesmer.
Oh, the Shadow Refuge from Beyond B is...
Shadow Refuge.
Oh,
just not
fail
quite
Shadow
enough.
Refuge.
I think Beyond needs to take that and just get out of there.
Yeah, that's probably
So
what he's going to be
Candace
doing.
wants to
Candace,
man mode it.
I don't know. I
No.
don't think that's a good idea on his end. We are going to see the 2-cap coming out for the red team regardless, starting to build a small lead about 3.5 minutes into
And
this game.
as a result, Candace got neutered on mid because he stared at Corey for no reason. So big misplay coming in from there. They really need every point they can get. Thankfully, they do manage to get, looks like soon to be full cap on Waterfall. And Delphi Drink is moving on to mid. Hopefully he'll land some solid burst.
Yeah, Candace is going to be under a little bit of pressure here before he gets reinforcements for the rest of this team. It looks like Beyond coming in here as he did bail out. Oh, the damage onto Beyond coming out from Lovely Shatter. Vampirins are going to pop for him. Will he be able to take him out? Eliminated him from this fight. Going to use his return Shadow Step there. Able to get out of there with some stealth. That's going to be able to keep him alive for the time being. Hero, though, the main target, going back to that quarry node where Purgatory and Lovely in a 1v1.
Candace, did you see that?
We did see
Delphine
Candace
Drake.
was
Candace
taken
was on
down.
downside around 15%. Delphine Drake comes in with the time warp, preventing a lot of DPS from the red team coming out and quickening the blue team's resurrection. So good save coming in from time warp there. Good thing he made that swap. It's really paying out, it looks like, and I think blue team is able to win mid at this node. Suicune just rushing, trying to get that newt onto Waterfall, but Drake's like, haha, I left the portal there. I saw this one coming. So he's gonna be able to hold it until an LD +1s. And it looks like the blue team seem to be coming out of this with a 2-cap. If Beyond dies, that'll be really big gain for the red team, trying to stealth up a little bit. Not quite. Gets taken out by the Rangers' arrows. Again, also important to note, Rangers really do shine on this map because it's just
Oh, look at the Candace. So at the midpoint, the damage coming out from Lovely Shatter, he's going to be forced out of it. That one fight over at the quarry is going to prove to be huge for this red team as they fully knew and get actually a couple ticks into a favor at the midpoint. That was almost fully capped for the blue team, who didn't manage to get a 2-cap just yet in this game. Down about 70 points. 5.5 minutes into this game almost, and still one team hits 150 points. We could have this could definitely come down to a Lord Rush in the end.
Yes, it very well could. We see Purgatory popping Plague on Quarry, but he got hit by Plague's worst enemy, Tangle. That's going to be stacking up a lot of hard to deal with bleeds. He's just going to try and stall 1v2 as long as he can.
Kenny needs to bail out of here. There's no reason they need to 1v2 this fight right here. They've got the Thief coming off respawn, they're not outnumbered elsewhere as Beyond B was just coming out of the gate there, but ultimately they could have had something else at the midpoint. But they do have the full cap there as a Candace taken into the downstate. Time Warp coming out there. I think that was Lovely Shatter's Time Warp. Yes, it was. Talgo going to throw in some arrows as well, try and take him down full, and it looks like they're not going to be able to get Drake back up from this fight.
And this is going to be extremely hard for the blue team to recover because I feel like Ellie's going to go down soon. Then they're going to get Waterfall off that.
Oh man,
Drake trying to sneak in, decap Corey.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Close and watching.
I don't know. Talgo, they know something's up. Kenya doing a great job. Just knows something might be up here. He sees him coming. Not going to allow for that. We are going to see a 3-cap coming out there as Trig able to get the cap in just a few seconds. More than likely.
A 2-cap. I don't think
maybe.
they're
Okay,
going to
yeah.
get Waterfall in time. Purgatory should be able to get on that. Hopefully Beyond can land some decent burst, but yep, Ellie's still in the down state.
They need to get out of
this
before
blue team is back into their original fighting state. Good burst landing on Suicune, but Suicune just the help of his allies being able to sustain and port away for a bit.
Oh man, the health pools of this blue team not looking good whatsoever. Candace not looking too good in the 1v1 against Kenny over here at the core either. He's going to be more than likely taken out in a matter of seconds. Ooh, the Life Blast not going to land. Candace so low. Does get feared though. I think he got his heal off regardless.
If he wants to get out.
I'm not sure why he hasn't FGS yet.
Yeah, he probably will soon. Yeah.
Oh, there he does. He's going to go back and try and go get the decap.
He did actually lure the Necker away, and now they're going to get a decap on the node.
Oh no,
Maybe
Kenya! Oh, this is such great plays coming out here from the blue team, able to make sure Candace stays alive. Ellie getting that decap. That proves to be huge. On the other side of the map, though, Lovely Shatter trying to get the decap on the waterfall. Is he able to? Yes, he is before Purgatory gets there. To Halgo, though.
Is actually really low. Drake is right on his tail, and he gets the daze on the heal, and he should be able to fully kill him. But no, Stolen Eternity comes in with the water and just heals him right back up, clears the Gandhis. Purgatory getting kind of low, just getting mauled to death by the guy's pet. After a taunt, he got CC'd right afterwards.
Yeah,
And it looks
Talgo's
like-
still so low right here. Able to get his heal off. Needs to be careful it doesn't get hit by a burning speed or anything coming out from the Ellie's. Oh, the shatter combo with the mirror blade coming out there from Drake onto Talgo. That's going to take him out the stab stomp. I believe that was a Candace able to pick up that one. Over at the quarry, though, they did manage to take down Kenya in that 2v2.
And
Sandrine,
Captain
I don't think he's going to get that res. No way.
No, not going to be able to get the res, and hopefully
Soul and
Blue Team
Eternity
can
taking
get
down the mid.
sides.
Oh man, this is a huge turn of events because there's about a 200-point lead in favor of this red team. This 2-cap, possibly a 3-cap, really, I mean, it could prove to be huge.
It's a 3-cap.
But look,
the red team's member on mid's
Just
dead,
like that,
and
Blue
Waterfall's
team
cap.
takes a capture
Ellie
point.
keeping tabs on the quarry node, not going to let the ranger decap. And they have the Mesmer on the run and a little bit of gate damage too. This was a fantastic turnaround by the blue team onto the red team. If there's ever a map to come back on, it's definitely Legacy.
Just like that.
yeah, red team really needs to be careful here. They can't afford to lose Talgo. Talgo popping that Signet of Stone should be okay for the time being. Has Entangle if he wants to get away. We are going to see a decap come out from Lovely Shatter. Nice portal play to get back there. Drake not able to get there on time. Going to get plus by Purgatory. They really need to do something right here before it's too late. It's definitely not too late, but they're all over the map. They haven't regrouped. They haven't managed to take a point at all. They actually got Ellie down over at the quarry. I want to point that out. So that's exactly what they need to get their feet back underneath them.
Yeah, Lovely Shatter is doing a fantastic job. Not only is he surviving a 1v2, he also got the decap while he's doing it. And as a result, his team was able to take advantage of the 4v3 he put himself in,
Blue team
and able
grabs the
to
capture
get a
point.
kill on Quarry, and now turn it into a giant team fight onto mid that they're winning right now because Beyond's in the downstate, as well as side note caps. Beyond porting up there, a good spot to get res, but I don't think they're going to go for it unless Delphine Drake has time warp up, which he doesn't.
I don't think so.
Now Hero's in a fantastic position to just damage whoever he sees go on mid.
Ellie going for that decap over at the quarry. We see Talgo. He sees it.
Gets
Will he be able to
mowed
get
by
that?
Candace. That can be the difference whether this gets decapped or not.
Does he get the
Another
knockback?
emote
Oh,
come out?
the
Yes, we
emote!
do. And
That
the
was
decap
crazy.
comes out.
But they
Really,
still,
really-
red team capped the midpoint in the process and got the decap over at the waterfall as we see Sakun able to get that one as he peeled out from the midpoint. Stolen Eternity should be okay at the midpoint as he has Kenya with him. Numbers advantage, not really favoring the red team despite holding on to that mid node because we have Lovely coming off a respawn. Kenya needs to be a little careful, should be okay for the time being. What else do we got going on here?
Looking at the side notes, both teams are in a bad
Red
1v1.
team wins
Beyond
the
should not be
capture
fighting
point.
this Ellie. That's really cocky of him to do, and he's just wasting time. And the Ranger should not be fighting the Ellie on that note. Thankfully, he's getting a +1 while Beyond is wasting time. What Beyond should have done there is go mid, have Drake back up by now because he would have gotten the rest because he was there. Instead, wasting time.
Yeah, definitely. So that was a 2-cap for just a little bit, but mid did get decapped by the blue team here. Drake has been down for like at least a minute or two. Kept trying to res, and I don't think it really did much. He was just stomped. Purgatory really low as well. Has about 100% HP in Shroud. Should be okay. We do see that time warp coming out from Lovely Shatter. That's going to prove to be very useful as they're going to take down Purgatory almost instantly. He does go into the downstate, 100 points away from victory. Things looking so good. 4 minutes left in this game. Red team looking to surge through
I think
and
that's
win
it.
this game.
I think Red Team has this in the bag. There's no way Blue Team can come back into this game.
Red team wins a
They have
capture
people
point.
on respawn. Red Team is in good positioning, still downing Blue Team members. No decaps to be seen. This is it. Red Team's game for sure.
Yeah, the res coming out there onto Kenya as well. I mean, they've got this 2-cap under locks. The 1v1's still going on. We have a Necro AFK in the base. Actually, no, Purgatory looked like he was sitting AFK there. He is actually going to come out of there. He got the decap over the waterfall, but still, you know, over a 200-point lead, 60 points left to go. I'm thinking we're going to have this go in favor of this red team. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Taking out Club a Candace in a 2-1 fashion. You know, we expected some close games, but I mean, I was saying expected the red team to take, I think, a match. I'm not sure if I said the whole set. Maybe I didn't say it all, but still, such great games, especially that, you know, that second game, just a total turn of events in favor of the red team, or blue team, excuse me, as they lost terribly on match number 1. This one seemingly back and forth. No one really had the advantage. I think the score doesn't really represent how close this game was.
Yeah, a lot of poor decisions made on the Blues team part, mainly when they had that 3-cap. They just got counter snowballed on. The Mesmer being able to get a decap as well as holding to it in there was huge.
Yeah, definitely
That
so. I
definitely
mean,
led to their
don't
downfall.
let your dreams be dreams. Definitely proven, guys, that Rangers viable, right? Probably not, but still, Talgo did a great job on the playing the Ranger. Definitely not what you would expect in the finals to definitely win it.
Yeah, definitely not being afraid to fight Ellie's Unknown.
He did a great job that game. Got to give it to him. They have Kenya taken out in that 1v2. That's the only point they hold. I'm surprised they're not just going to get the stomp. There is the cap at the waterfall there as well. So there's a 2-1 victory coming out for Don't Let Your Dreams Be Dreams over Club at Candace. Any last thoughts on that match?
Red team wins the capture point.
Little upset that I was wrong in who I predicted, but really happy that it turned out to be a great series. Best of 3. We're seeing the third match happen. Which is always exciting. Just goes to show how close these teams are and how it's anyone's game.
Definitely so. Before we go ahead and discuss this a little bit further, I do want to say to you guys, we do have a raffle giveaway for a skin, a weapon skin that I haven't yet determined. I might actually make it up after the tournament, after the stream's over, but it is going to be worth at least 100 to 150 goldish. But go ahead and type in ~, raffle into the Twitch chat to be entered into that. You must be following the channel. If you're not, you will not win the giveaway. So definitely do that, guys. But go ahead. Any thoughts on those two teams any more than what you just said?
I really didn't see much of the winning team other than that series, but I feel like, yeah, sure, they still had some mistakes. Overall, really solid gameplay. Suicune doing a fantastic job with the 1v1s. Of course, highlight of the entire series was the 1v2. Really wrapped up that tempo game for them. And yeah, interesting choice with the Ranger.
Yeah, congrats to all the teams today. Don't Let Your Dreams Be Dreams getting first place, and Club of Candace settling with the second place there. They will be taking home 4,000, and with Dreams taking home 10,000 as a team. I do want to thank all my admins as per usual. With I believe I had Chloe and Ruby helping out today, and Nos, thank you for coming on for this very, very long cast that we had tonight. With 16 teams in the tournament. As always, if you guys are interested in playing in this tournament, we hit 16 teams nearly every single week. So if you want to be a part of the action, head on over to that link up top, battlefy.com/academy-gaming. You can find that below the stream. If you're interested in new player articles for PvP, we have them come out every week. You can find that above me at academygamingnet.com. If you guys have social media, follow me on Twitter over there at StormGW2. Other than that, I guess... Of course, I said this earlier in the cast. I will be uploading all NA ESL and NA AG tournaments to my YouTube channel. It's not big enough to have a URL, really. That's one you want to remember. So you can find that link below the stream. I believe I already uploaded yesterday's ESL tournament. So go ahead and check that out if you did not catch that one. I also wanted to say thanks, ANET, for all the support they give to me in the stream with the gem codes and whatnot for the victors. I also want to thank them because I finally got my affiliate link. You can find that below the stream if you want to support me directly through buying Guild Wars 2. Other than that, that's all my announcements I have. Any last things from you, Nos, before we go ahead and wrap this up?
Yep, first I'd like to say thanks for having me on. I enjoyed casting with you. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good games. And if you guys want to check out my Twitch channel, it's twitch.tv/Noscock, NOSCOC, and I'm the Necro for the Abjurt. And I'll stream Necro mainly. Sometimes we'll go on other all classes, but that's really what I'm trolling around. Other than that, have a good night, guys, and hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, definitely check his stream out. I want to thank Shaith. I forgot to mention that for hosting me earlier in the stream. Hit almost 400 viewers tonight. That is a peak we have not hit in the AG tournament, I don't think, ever. So thank you to all the viewers for coming out. Let's go ahead and get this raffle underway for our gem code. Drum roll. No drum roll. Yeah, I have a drum set behind me, but I'm not doing a drum roll. Let's go ahead and take a look. Looks like our victor is Ish the Face. Congrats on winning your gem code. You can go ahead and message me on Twitch. Do not type /W Game with Storm. Go ahead and send me an actual inbox message on Twitch with your account name. I'll get that skin, whatever skin it may be, sent to you later on this evening or tomorrow. We'll have to see what I'm feeling up to. But again, guys, thank you so much for tuning out in tonight. Hope to see you next week for the AG. Actually, hope to see you on Sunday for the ESL. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you later.
Break the hourglass and watch time unfold. and I'll try to make it back in this raging sea, 'cause I'm way too deep, 'cause I'm way too deep.